Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game Kickoff. An hour and 5 minutes away at St James's Park as Newcastle United host West Ham United this evening. A little bit of pressure applied to both teams with results elsewhere in the Premier League earlier on today. And as we speak, before we talk about that, Gonzo, how is oneself?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, fine. Thank you for asking. Hope you are too. The Everton result, let's be fair, that is how I'm feeling at the moment. You can't separate one from the other, really. It's made me very, very nervous.
Yeah, as well as Everton beating Arsenal, Leicester City are currently 3-2 up away to Aston Villa, and Wolves are beating Liverpool 2-0 at the Molineux with Craig Dawson getting the second goal for Wolves on his debut this afternoon. So I'll be honest with you, it's up until the Everton game, I was quite looking forward to it. I've been in a good mood all week. I've been looking forward to it, feeling optimistic with some evidence to go on, but it was more just optimism and faith than anything. But the Everton win took the shine off it a little bit, and then seeing all the results going the way it is today and stuff, and Tete scoring for Leicester, you're just thinking, oh no. I guess the good news though, Southampton are 2-0 down. That's good news. Hopefully Brighton can get a winner against Bournemouth as well.
Yes, 0-0 at the moment, isn't it? There. Yeah, I mean it's still hard. I'd sort of factored Southampton in anyway in my reckoning of, to try and find three below us. So I'm not going to get an awful lot of hope from that. The Wolves one, I think in particular, is a shocker. And I think we'd all expected Villa to start pulling away and sort of hoping that Leicester were going to struggle. But in the game of let's find three worst teams and West Ham at the moment, there isn't. And, so today's a crunch game. And it was always going to be thus, Geo. It had to be this way, that if the board weren't going to do anything, it was a game of stick or twist. And if the board were going to stick, then there was going to come a point where pressure will pile onto the board, and make no mistake about it. If this doesn't go our way today and we find ourselves slipping down and Everton started doing well, Leicester doing well, and Wolves, then the pressure goes on to, less so actually on David Moyes. I think it then just goes onto the board because they gamble to do nothing. Well, it would have been proven to be the wrong one, but they still have a chance to get it right. But I think we need to do something really good today.
I have to agree with Stevie here. A point tonight will be welcomed, and I think that just takes the pressure back off again, kind of thing. I think had Arsenal won, had Wolves not been winning, I'd be feeling all right today and still be looking forward to the game. The only reason I'm not looking forward to the game is results elsewhere. I still am looking forward to it. It's results elsewhere, which just sort of makes you feel a little bit nervous. I keep trying to remind myself there's a long way to go in the season. Yeah, two wins and suddenly you've gone from bottom three to knocking on the door for top 10 all of a sudden. Vice versa, you lose a couple of games and sooner rather than later you're thinking, hang on a minute, how are we in this relegation fight for the first time this season? So the league is incredibly tight at the minute, but all we have to do is focus on ourselves, I guess. I just think it might just apply the pressure a little bit. This is possibly the disadvantage of playing at 5:30 on the Saturday when the results elsewhere have already occurred, and somebody's saying to Moyes, don't know if you know, Dave, but Wolves have just beaten Liverpool, Everton's just beaten Arsenal. We can't really afford to get beat here, kind of thing. Otherwise, that lot up there are not going to be too happy. So, an interesting
he'll know,
game.
But Moyes will know. Moyes will be fully aware that Dyche was one of the contenders for his job. So he will, I'm sure he'll be very, very aware of how that looks, that Dyche will go in there and do that. So it's, look, there you go. That's where we are. The pressure's on Moyes. The pressure was on Moyes anyway. Now there's even more of it, but I do hope that we can, because I do think there is now pressure on the team, looking at that and, put pressure on it by the league, as you say, because of the later kickoff.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, lineup's a few seconds away, but it looks like minimal changes for West Ham. Obviously, one forced change from the win against Everton as Kurt Zouma is unavailable. However, David Moyes yesterday's press conference suggested that Danny Ings may be available for selection today, so we'll wait and see if he's included. It's unlikely that Rubama will be involved, though. He played 90 minutes for the under-18s last night. He scored a brace, though, but I'll be surprised. When I was typing up the team in the back just before we went live, Gonzo, I only had 8 subs, so I did the 11. Then I did 8 subs, and I thought, hang on a minute, then who's the 9 subs? So I've got a feeling we'll always say 2 keepers on the bench today because I couldn't think of another outfielder. So, here you go. Would you like to know the West Ham team?
Yes, please, mate.
Let me just click it. I think I've got it right. Read that while I read it out, will you?
Fabianski.
No, not you. I read it out. You read it. Make sure you've got the team right, for God's sake.
Okay.
In goal is Lucas Fabianski, a back 3 of Tilo Kehrer, Ogbonna, and Agerd, with Soufal right wing back, Rice playing next to Paqueta in midfield, and Emerson on the left wing back role. Said Benrahma and Jared Bowen playing behind Mikhail and Antonio.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got it right.
Sorry, when you said it basically disappeared. So I was
yeah. So that's the team. One change from the win against Everton. Tilo Kehrer coming in for the injured Kurt Zuma.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's doing what he thinks he should do there. We've already said what I'd do there, which would have been to play Johnson there instead. I think he's a little bit scary. But you know what? It is a good team. It is a good team, and I'm pleased he's selected Benrahma as well. I think that's a good thing for this one. So I do think we've got 3 attackers here, and I think that's a good thing because, as I mentioned numerous times, when you play Fornals there, you can't class him as an attacker. So I think that is, at least we've got Benrahma, Bowen, and Antonio there, and they're probably going to have to conjure something up there between them. That being said, Emerson's looking better. It looks like he can produce some quality with crossing from the left. So at least we might have a bit of quality coming from that side, which would be decent as well. So and hopefully Paqueta can get a little bit more involved in this. But I'm pleased he hasn't included Souček in this because I just think it would have been one sort of stopper too many, if you like. So it's decent enough. It's just over. We've almost got to forget about that, and it's hard to forget about the other results at the moment and sort of focus on this. And that's a good team, and try and have a little bit of faith that those guys can go with it. He's clearly got a tactical plan in there. I don't mind the 3 at the back again. I don't mind him switching things, changing things, which he's clearly done. Something wasn't working, he has changed it. So let's hope that it's going to yield some results.
Yeah, I'm happy with it, to be honest with you. It is as expected. It's a team I wanted to see, to be fair, bar the keeper, but Ariola's unavailable. Just to confirm, Ariola is not on the bench for West Ham this afternoon. So, I've got no complaints with that at all, to be honest with you, Gonzo. The Kehrer is a bit of a worry, but it was either Tilo Kehrer or Ben Johnson there. Actually, we both selected Ben Johnson, didn't we? It's not the team I wanted to see. We both had Ben Johnson, but I understand why he's put Kehrer in there. Yeah. We have to get him back into form, Kehrer. And he was good when he first arrived. When he first came, he put in some really good performances, but we moved him to right back. It didn't work out at all. It shattered his confidence. It's now, let's get him back into centre-back. And this is a centre-back role, first and foremost. There is some more responsibility within possession of the ball, but he looks comfortable with the ball at his feet. It's his positioning at right back that I don't like. He wanders up the pitch far too often. But he's got to have a place in this team. We can't go the rest of the season not using Tilo Kehrer and only using Ogbonna, Agerd, and Kurt Zuma when he's fit as centre-backs. We can't do it. We've got too many games coming up. We've got European competition coming up. Tilo Kehrer must be an important member of this squad. Now, do I accept that? Not really. I think we should have brought a centre-back in January, even if it was only on loan for options and for squad depth, but we didn't. We've got what we've got now. I'm happy with that 11, Gonzo. I think... Yeah, I'm good with it. Would you like to know the West Ham bench?
Yeah, please.
Right. Well, while I do, let me just delete Ariola first of all. Right, I'm missing 2 players. I'll fill them in a second. On the bench for West Ham this afternoon, we've got Hegi and Anang, 2 young goalkeepers on the bench, as well as Ben Johnson, Aaron Creswell. We've also got Thomas Souček, Flynn Downs, Manuel Lanzini, Pablo Fornals, and Danny Ings.
Well, it's good to see Ings back. I think that's the first thing you notice there. The 2 goalkeepers is just annoying. He either thinks that's a good policy, which it isn't, or he's still sending a message to the board, in which case I think that's probably the most worrying out of everything. Anyway, let's forget that for the moment. I'm pleased Ings is on there. Really pleased Ings is on there as well. There's some players on there that can make a difference. There's no doubt about it, and I think, it's good to see. I don't mean this to be horrible, but it's good to see Cresswell on there as well for you felt for a long time that Cresswell was almost undroppable for any length of time. And so with him changing to this formation, he would often switch and put Cresswell in there at left centre-back. We've now got a much better option there at left centre-back in a Gurd. And as I'm really pleased he hasn't tried to shoehorn Cresswell into a position that doesn't suit him, be it either left centre-back or sort of left wing-back there. So I think that's just for the team and for the shape of the team. That's pretty good. And he's also shown he's brave enough to drop Thomas Souček, which I think he's probably, he was even speaking about it in the press conference. Doesn't like doing it, that much is clear. So so fair play to him. It's all on him now. This is it. There's no more. There are actually no more hiding places. It's all on him. There's your team. Spent a lot of money. We've got to go out and start playing well now.
Would you like to know the Newcastle team?
Not really.
Well, I got it right as well. When I did my pitching video, I sat there and I said, I'm confident I've got 11 out of 11 right today, and I have got 11 out of 11. Yeah. So if I know it, Moyes knows it. No excuses. In goal for Newcastle is Nick Pope with Kieran Trippier right back. Shaw continues to partner bottom in at centre back with Dan Burn left back. Sean Longstaff is likely to be the sitting midfielder today with Bruno suspended. Joe Willock plays alongside him, as does Joelinton. Almiron continues on the right. St. Maximin comes in on the left for the suspended Bruno, and Callum Wilson is up front for the Geordies. What do you make of that team?
Well, they're not well beaters, Gio. I've got to say. That's not a, they're not a, what can I say? They're not Galacticos. They're a team that he's got the very, very best out of. What they are is very well drilled, very well organised, and exceptionally quick up front as well. A lot of it's not just outright speed; it's the mobility and the way they move, and there's a sort of perpetual motion there. So, look, on paper, this shouldn't be. I don't know what the bookies are making this, but I'm pretty sure Newcastle are heavy favourites, and I understand why. Don't get me wrong, I do understand why. They're good and we're crap. Fine, but actually, if you look at the players on paper, there shouldn't be that much disparity between them. We have some very, very good footballers there, and they have some players there which you would imagine probably won't be there in 2 years' time. So it might be a not the worst time to play them, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. If there is a time to play them, it's without Bruno, before Anthony Gordon settled in, while Callum Wilson's going through a goal drought. And I know what the West Ham of old would have. Well, we know what would happen. Callum Wilson would score today. We are one of his, if not the favourite opponents for him to play against. 9 goals in 11 games. So he'll be looking forward to this one. He's got that personal battle going on with Michail Antonio as well. But the fact of the matter is, they're missing their best player. They don't have Alexander Isak on the bench. I'll get the Newcastle bench in a minute, but Isak's not on there. So they don't have a striker on the bench today. The striker starting up front for them has got 9 games, I think, without a goal. Because Bruno's had to come out, it's meant Longstaff, if Longstaff's playing central of the 3, which I think he will, it means Longstaff's got to move. It means Joe Willock's got to move over to the other side. It means Joelinton has to drop back, and then St. Maximin comes in. So 1 suspension, but there's 3 or 4 players having to move around in that team, and it's small changes, but you ain't going to get a better opportunity to play Newcastle, I don't think. They've just had a game on Tuesday night as well. They looked a little bit leggy in the second half, I believe. I didn't see it, but I've seen Newcastle fans who looked a little bit tired in the second half. This is a good opportunity for us. If we turn up with the right attitude and the right tactics, we can get something out of this game. It won't be easy. Newcastle are favourites. They should be the favourites. And we talk about the pressure being on West Ham because of results elsewhere. Well, there's pressure on Newcastle. At the minute, Man United are beating Crystal Palace. Now, they are down to 10 men, and Crystal Palace have just got a goal back, so that could change. But presently, Man United are winning. That will put the pressure on Newcastle a little bit. They're now away to play a team who aren't having a great season. They're at home. They're the favourites. So there's a different type of pressure on both teams going into this one. So it'll be interesting to see who copes with it the best. Would you like to know the Newcastle team? Bench,
yeah.
even?
Yes, please, mate. Yeah.
The bench for Newcastle, we've got Jabaka on the bench as well. We've also got Dummett, Lascelles. Anthony Gordon is on the bench, as well as Richie, Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, and Elliot Anderson as well. So no Haddison Ashby, luckily, and Alexander Isak is missing after his concussion substitution on Tuesday night. So that's the Newcastle bench.
Very good. Did you say Chewbacca? You did say Chewbacca, didn't you, on the bench?
Who?
You said Chewbacca. You said Chewbacca on the bench.
Dubravka.
Wookie, it can't be a Wookie on the bench. No, I don't mind.
It's one of
Chewbacca
those
was
tongue
better.
twisters for me. You can have Chewbacca if you want. Go on,
Yeah,
Matt.
but he will forevermore be known as Chewbacca on the bench, like Jenny from the block.
Anyway, shall we dive straight into the bet giveaway today? Actually, I fancy doing that first.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you fancying for it?
Well, I don't think we win anyone any money if we go with the draw, so we're gonna have to go with a West Ham win.
It's big odds. 9-2 is big odds.
Okay, West Ham win.
Yeah. Anything else?
Bowen goal.
Bowen goal. Right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put in Sean Longstaff to do 2 fouls because I think he'll be the centre man today, so that should increase his foul count. And Jared Bowen to get on the score sheet. Oh, he's good odds as well. That's enough, Gonzo. I'm going to put I've got a £10 free bet, right? So I'm going to put that on. So technically, we've got a tenner going on this instead of a fiver. So here we go. £400 if this bet wins. Or we'll do 202 winners.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, £200 if this bet wins, but we'll have 2 winners instead of just the one. And we only need 3 things. I say only, but we need West Ham to win, Jared Bowen to score a goal, and Sean Longstaff to commit 2 fouls. That's all we need. £200 to 2 different winners. To enter in the live chat, please put the following phrase.
We need maximum points.
We need maximum points. The spelling will be on the screen in just a minute. Gonzo, but you've seen the lineups. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's not made a lot of difference, to be fair. I'm nervous as hell. I really am. There's no doubt about it. I'm just trying to keep a lid on it, and it's quite hard to focus on the game, bearing in mind everything that's going on. In fact, I'm going to click on the Premier League again. It still says Man United 2, Crystal Palace 0 on my ticker tape thing, but it also says Wolves are winning 3-0. All this stuff's making me nervous. Leicester City are still winning, the whole lot. There you go, that's it. Oi, Savaloy.
Maybe Crystal Palace got a goal ruled out, but it came up on my phone saying it was 2-1 and Jeffrey Schlupp had scored a goal.
Naughty. Okay, well, fortunately, Jeffrey Schlupp got. I should say fortunately, it doesn't actually matter. The trouble is, if what we're doing is, we keep on looking higher and higher up, I hope they fall down because basically we're not as good as all the other teams around us. We've got massive problems. We've got to be better than the other teams around us. At the moment, we're not.
Well, at the moment, we are, Gonzo, because on Sky Sports News earlier, they brought up a mini table, the bottom 6 teams of the Premier League for and post World Cup. So we've all played 5 games. West Ham were top of the league.
What? Yeah. Form for what?
4 points. We had 4 points for 5 games, and all the other teams had, not 4 points.
Are you? What do you mean top of the league? What are you talking
about? Top of the mini table.
Right. I was gonna.
The Sky Sports took the mini table at the bottom of the league, so they took the bottom 6 teams of the Premier League, and they took post World Cup form only, and we'd all played 5 games, and West Ham were top of the little league at the bottom. We'd had 4 points, whereas the rest of them,
we bloody won't be anymore.
Leicester had 1. I think Bournemouth had 1. Southampton had 1 or 2.
Well, there we go. Let's hope that's still the case after today. I suspect it.
Well, it won't be because Wolves are just picking up 3 points.
Exactly. This is it. This is it. So it's hard to make the case that we're better than the teams around us at the moment. That's the point. They've all had a tweak in January. Now, listen, so have we. But with Ings, but might not be enough. We'll see.
I'm feeling okay. Do you know something? I'm trying to discard the results happening elsewhere because that's going to happen between now and then this season. I can't help it either. Do you know what I do? I really can't help it. I keep looking at it and looking at the fixtures, and then I keep reminding myself, hang on a minute, Geo, there's flipping 17 games or something to go after this one. It doesn't really matter what this weekend's results are, does it? You're not going to get relegated off the back of this weekend. It's a combination of the whole season. So, yeah, you might have a bad weekend, but you might have 2 good ones. We'll have to wait and see. So it's difficult to not do it. However, this game isolated, forgetting the noise around the game, this is the West Ham team we expected. And this is the Newcastle team we expected. There's no excuses for either manager here. Moyes should have known what Eddie Howe is going to do. Eddie Howe should have known what David Moyes is going to do. There is no surprise from either manager. Both teams have only made 1 change from the previous Premier League game. They were both forced, and Kurt Zouma and Bruno getting suspended as well. So there is absolutely no surprises. I'm nervous though, because if we get a point tonight, I'll be delighted. I think it would be a really, really good point to get. It would make me more optimistic for the Chelsea game next weekend, because I think that Chelsea game next weekend is a real opportunity to get a win. But I think you need to go into that one off the back of a good performance tonight, but also getting at least if you get a point tonight, I think we'll beat Chelsea next weekend. I think it'll give us that lift. It'll give the fans a little bit of a lift as well. It'll be 6 games in 2023 with 1 defeat out of the 6 and 3 of them being wins. That's good form to take into that Chelsea game. It becomes more winnable. However, Newcastle are the better team, clearly. They've got the second best defence in the league. At home, I think they've conceded 5 goals or something in the league, and I think Man City scored 3 of them. So it's not looking great. We've only scored 6 goals away from home or something. So all the statistics point to a Newcastle win today. It's going to be a low score. I'll be surprised more than 2 goals in this game. But it's just a case of, can we keep it tight? Can we keep Newcastle out? And can we try and create a few opportunities for ourselves? But I think we have to. It's just unfortunate that the results have gone against us elsewhere. Otherwise, I think the pressure would have been off us a little bit tonight. But because of the game at the Molineux and game at Goodson Park, I think it's just put a little bit on us. Anyway, shall we see what the live chat are thinking about the game?
Yes, indeed, mate. Yes, indeed.
Right then, if you're watching live, please put your thoughts into live chat. It can be about the Newcastle team, the West Ham team, how you see the game going, or any hopes or worries. Not your score prediction, and it's got to be about the game. So let's have a little look and see what you're saying. Mandy says that Rice is going to be ran ragged today in midfield with just Paqueta near him, who is nailed to get a card. I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I got 3 stuck in there, don't they, Newcastle?
But yeah, well, if you're a man short in midfield, you're a man additional elsewhere on the pitch in theory, aren't you? So who is that? Where is he? Is it Ben Rama?
It's Tilo Kehrer.
But is it going to be Saeed Ben Rama? Is Emerson going to take care of Trippier and leave a gird with Almiron? Then Ben Rama becomes free. We'll have to wait and see. But that is on paper, that is correct. On YouTube is happy with the team selection. I think most people are. I don't know if Charlie's done the poll yet. Charlie will tell us when he's done the poll. I'll be intrigued to see what the results
it's okay.
are.
It is okay. It is okay. It's more or less. It's more or less what we both picked. So, absolutely.
Major, I will have 3 points for West Ham. I'm not a big rugby fan, so it doesn't really faze me, to be honest with you. It's just, my mood is not changed by Scotland doing well or not doing well in the rugby, whereas my mood does change if West Ham do well or not so well on the day. Dave says, totally irrational and based on nothing, but feeling optimistic today. I think there's a lot of that going around. I've seen a lot of people have said to me today they're feeling it. Dean says, feeling quite confident, bizarrely. 2-1 to us. My whole family divides in half. There you go. The poll is now live in the live chat. Get involved. Let us know what you think of the lineup, and Charlie will be around to give us the results in a bit. I'm intrigued by it. I think people are feeling okay. Hammerhead Hardy said he's glad he's kept this information. Worried about Kerr, but must be optimistic knowing Wilson hasn't scored for a while. Step forward, West Ham United. Kevin says, I really want us to win, but I can't see it. The recent results have papered over the cracks and given us some false hope. Do you think that's fair?
It's different for everybody, isn't it? I mean, that's the way Kevin feels. I unfortunately I haven't even had the false hope, Kevin. But I totally take. I get what
you said.
I get it. You know, if that's absolutely true for him. And I was absolutely fine. I predicted a draw, and I still think we're highly likely to get a draw as well. It is those other results.
Only because I persuaded you in the preview. I had to talk to you.
Why not? You made a really good case.
It has given me false hope, Kevin, but I don't mind because it's been at times it's been poor this season where I'm looking for any positivity. I'm looking for any encouragement that we are going to turn things around. We are going to get out of this. I am doing it on purpose. I'm aware I am. But I'm not going to stop it. I'm a West Ham fan. I want to see signs that we're going to get out of it. Just as much at the same token of gesture, I'm also looking for things that's going to spell trouble for us later down the line. Tilo Kehrer being right centre back today, for example, would be one of those things I would consider that might contribute to us not winning this game. But Jared Bowen's form is one thing I would consider that actually we can win today because we've got arguably the most informed offensive player on the pitch out of both teams. I don't know Almiron was playing really, really well. He hasn't scored for a couple of games now. Jared Bowen has scored 3 in his last 2. So,
yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, you'll see what you want to see anyway. You know, but by and large, I mean, there's, you know, I think, as I've said, really enjoying watching a Gerd play. at the moment. I think Antonio seems to be coming into seems to be coming in. I'm sorry, I had to switch off the chat. At the moment that rugby stuff went on, I switched off the chat. But yeah, I mean, it'd be I mean, a Gerd is great. Is great to watch. You know, I think Antonio's in really good form, and I think Bowen is as well. So you know, there are definitely reasons to be optimistic. It's not like we 11 terrible players and the rest of it. That's not the case at all. But I feel it's fragile. I feel the recovery is very fragile. It's very much in its infancy at the moment. So it's a worry. It's hard. You know, if you can be confident, great. You know, if you really believe in it, and that's it. And now we're on the up, and this is where then great. You know, I'm just a little bit more nervous than that at the moment. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue there's less evidence for Leicester City turning it around, but yet they're winning at Villa Park today. Sure. There's more evidence for West Ham improving over the last few weeks. I think today's Katie will be keeping a clean sheet. I'll be honest with you, we concede first, then my hopes are gone. I think we've lost it. We're not gonna. I mean, even get a draw. We won't get a draw. Newcastle keep us out. It heavily relies on us not conceding to Newcastle. Joshua says, if we look at the teams play for player, our team is better. Guy says it's a strong team. David Moyes is going for it. Stephen says 2-0 West Ham. Got a feeling I'm normally right. I like that. Nice.
Oh, yeah. I like good. That, I hope he's bloody pure right. Confidence. Good. Go on, Stephen.
Alison said set prices will be key for both teams. Maybe someone will get a good deal. But yes.
Absolutely. We find out, actually, Aston Villa turn around and say, that Danny Ings, he's 45 million. I was like, hold on a second. You told us he was 15. No, it wasn't a set price.
Yeah, set pieces will be key, Alison. We haven't looked very good at them recently, though, for a little while. It makes you wonder, though, were we ever good at them, or was Souček and Dawson just really good at heading it?
Oh, yeah, Dawson scoring today.
Not a header, though. It was like a bit of a rebound, but he did blast it in the back of the net, though. He was no messing from Dawson.
That's another thing that makes you feel terrible, isn't it? I mean, good on him, Dawson, but Dawson scores. Oh, my word. Come on. Right, sorry. What's Mike saying?
Mike says, I'm not expecting a win, but it's possible. Let's see let's get behind team and see what happens. Sean thinks we're going to get battered and no points from the next 3 games. Nathan would prefer Downs than Paqueta. Sophie says Kerr is going to mess it up. Bobby thinks it's the best team available. Vicky's dad said probably couldn't really ask for a stronger team. I can see us getting something. Mark says surely we can only hope for a draw tonight.
Oh no, you can hope for bigger. You can only expect a draw, but you can hope for as much as you want, mate.
Good news.
Brighton that is good news.
I've taken the lead against Bournemouth. Yeah. Oh, well, then that's 2 of the teams that look worse than us, Southampton and Bournemouth.
All I have to do is find one more.
Well, me and your dad have just got to team up and convince you that Crystal Palace will be worse than us as well.
I know, but it's Marcus is a dear friend of mine, and
yeah, but he doesn't have any impact on the league table.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any impact on the league table, but I'm loath to come on a public video.
Do you think Bournemouth will get relegated? No, why not? Because my mate supports them.
No, that's not why I think they won't. I'm just loath on a video to say I want Crystal Palace to go down because
yeah. There's nothing about wanting them to go down. It's about expecting them to get dragged into that dog.
Yeah. I'd rather Bournemouth and Southampton don't go. They're on the south coast. They live near me, folks. Southampton don't live there. That's where the grounds are. Actually, my folks live near them. You know what? It's down near the seaside. Lovely. I'd prefer Newcastle to go down, quite frankly. But looks like you got to take what you get. I just need 3 teams that are worse than West Ham.
Mancunian Hammer says some players in this squad have earned a start and not got one. Some have been bang average and start like Paqueta. He needs to perform today. I think he's talking about Downs.
Yeah, he's spot on though. He's absolutely right.
Who would you bring in Downs for? I know who you would do it for. You would do it for Ben Rama, but I don't think Paqueta's been poor though. I think.
Do you know what? I'd probably work backwards in that rather than pick this format and then work or drop out. Downs would, if I'm looking at a number of players who are going to get us up the league and are going to scrap, Downs would be one of the first names on the team sheet. Then I would work it around that basically.
Joe says best lineup based on who's available. We need Cornet and Skamaka back, and Downs we need Cornet in the country first. That would help. Chris says we are now looking at other teams around us, hoping they drop points. What a crazy turnaround! Thanks, Moyes. In fairness, I did that last season. I was just looking at the results of Man United and Tottenham rather than Bournemouth and Southampton. I always look at the other results and how it impacts West Ham. It just depends on where you are.
Listen. I know Chris's opinion. Chris, I'm grateful. Chris leaves comments every single day. I always read them, Chris, and they're very welcome, mate. I know what Chris's views are on that. They've made. Moyes has made his selections. He's picked his players. David Sullivan's decided to stick with David Moyes. We're now going to find out if it's the right thing to do. That it has to work for them. If not, there's massive. I'd suggest it's curtains for both of them.
Simon says Flynn Downs should be starting.
Hey, it's in Lanzarote.
Is he still in Lanzarote at the minute?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, he needs to put his phone down and. Well, I suppose it won't be that hot out there at the minute. It'll be cozy, but that's about it. But
it'd be nice. It'd be nice. It'd be better than bloody here. I'll tell you what.
Matthew says drop Kerr and play Downs with Rice and Paqueta in a 4-3-3. Can't really disagree with that, can you? The only thing I don't like about that is it means a Gerrard plays right centre back, and I don't like it. I thought he looked very uncomfortable there. I think it was against Leeds. He played right centre back in a back four, and I just thought it looked. It blocked off his passing attributes. He was still able to do some, but we weren't taking advantage of how comfortable and good he is in possession. You need him, I think, on the left-hand side of defence, so he's got the whole pitch to aim at rather than just a diagonal ball out to Ben Rama. Thank you, Susan, for the £5 super chat. Says, suspect I have enjoyed the videos this week more than I will the game today. So thank you very much, Susan.
Very nice of you to say that, Susan. Thank you very much.
And also, pardon me, also the Pocket Punk and says Chewbacca with a long staff is better than a hand. Ashby, so
thank you, Sat. Very good.
2 Star Wars for me. I don't really get half
he's welcome. He knows he's welcome.
I don't really get half of it, but
I do.
Arthur says we're out of the bottom 3. Whatever happens tonight, that's always nice. Do we still go 13th if we win? I don't know.
That's mathematical stuff you're asking me there. I don't know.
Mate, I'm going to get dizzy if we're 13th and I look at that league table. It'd be nice to be able to not scroll down for a change. If we can just load it up, we're just there. We'll be at the bottom of the screen, but I don't have to scroll down.
I don't think my mouse can handle. I don't think the wheel goes the other way. Do you know what I mean? It's stuck. It's just so the mouse will say, "No, I'm sorry, mate. You've been doing it that way for so long. We're not going up."
It'd be nice if you screenshot the league table. You could actually have the league leaders in it and West Ham in it as well, rather than having to scroll down the top place and your screenshots 5th.
You have to wait till the second page on Sky Sports News.
Thank you, Reha. We win and we go 13th. That'd be nice. We go 13th on goal difference. That'd be nice. Thanks, I tell you what, our goal difference is quite good, actually. Well, I saw the league table earlier, and it's a good 4 or 5 goals better than those around us, and that's worth an invisible point. That's what I call it, the invisible point.
Oh, we like the invisible point.
We needed it for finishing 6th, didn't we? Who was it? Was it Brighton or someone? We had it was Wolves. We had a superior goal difference on just for the whole season. It was like, meh, even if you catch us, it doesn't matter. You ain't getting us. So, besides asking if there's any surprises with lineups.
Well, yeah. Not the lineup. Areola's injured. That's probably a bit of a surprise. So he's not on the bench. Not massive surprises, really. I don't think. Oh, Danny Ings, Annie Dings. She's on the bench, which is good.
I'm still nervous about that. I'll be honest with you. I am still a little bit cagey. The fact that we got told he was out for a month. Now, David Moyes didn't say he was out for a month. I will accept this. The news came out from In the News. It started with Jacob Steinberg, I believe, that said he was out for a month. And usually they're pretty reliable, so there's that. Then when Moyes got asked about it, Moyes said something like he will be out for a while or something like that. And suddenly he's just back. And I just thought, whoa, this was unexpected. So either the club played a blinder, making everybody think he's out for a month when he actually wasn't. He was only going to be out for a week or something. Or we've rushed him back. It's one of the two. And I just hope it's the first one. So while everybody's sitting here going, we need a striker, the club were just having a little chuckle going, little do they know Danny Ings is actually back in training, he's fine. But we can't tell anyone because we're going to shock Eddie Howe. But I don't know, I've just got a feeling they've patched him up. It makes me worried.
Yeah. I don't care. I've got to be honest with you.
If he comes on and gets injured and he is actually out, but then you'll say, well, what did we risk him for?
I've even factored him in. He's not even part of my equation in terms of us staying up. Honestly, I've not even factored him in.
I think if we stay up, I reckon Danny Ings has scored 4 or 5 goals.
I'd love to think that. I suspect he will perish in David Moyes' system. So I can't say, but I'd love that. Oh mate, to think that Moyes even might play 2 strikers at some point would be absolutely brilliant. But it's hard. It's hard to think. I almost factor in more Antonio coming to form will be the thing that maybe gets us out of it. So I'm not overly.
This is me. Arthur said he doesn't like when injuries are cured by injury. I'm a bit like that, especially when you're doing it to Ings and Skamaka. They're both getting sped up. But to be fair, there's been players who used to get injections before every game. Like the King was permanently patched up. I know that's not a good one because he's injury prone, but I'm sure there was a player for us. Was it Sufal or someone? Or was it Noble? Somebody who's played with injections every game for like.
I'm sure Dawson. I know Dawson played with injections for us. Definitely.
Yeah, so it can be quite routine for some players, I guess, just to get them through the game, kind of thing. It's just about how they.
And they do. I don't know what injections they give them, but I used to have a really bad shoulder. They gave me like a steroid, a cortisone injection. I felt $1 million. Do you know what I mean? Hey, come on, brilliant. So bring it on.
The way I am these days, I think somebody takes it out of me, withdraws it. They use it on Danny Ings. They take it out of me and put it in Danny Ings. That's
He's extracted me mojo.
You've extracted my mojo. Yeah, brilliant. That's what we'll call it now. Right, time to get your score predictions in, everybody. Those are watching live, please, in the live chat, put your score predictions, and please make it obvious who you are saying, because if you put 2-1, naturally, I assume it's for Newcastle, but you're meaning West Ham. So can you just put the team next to it as well, just to avoid confusion? Gonzo, in the preview, you said 0-0. I said 0-0. Are you sticking with that?
I think so. I think I am. Oh, I don't know. That 1-1 looks good as well, though, didn't it? I am fancying a bit of a draw. But I also think we can win this. I think we can win this. This has been quite therapeutic, this video, actually. Do you know what? I'm going to go Renegade. I'm going to go Maverick on this. I'm going to go a bit mental now. Newcastle United 0. West Ham United 2.
I would love that. I'd be buzzing. Honestly, if we can win, I don't care how it is. We could have one shot on target today and win 1-0. I will be absolutely buzzing. It's one of these games where, sometimes games come around, you think, I just want to see a good performance, and that's that. Well, it's come around today, and I mean, there's some games you're like, I want a win and a good performance today. I'm just like, I just want a win. I don't care how we do it. If we could Sam Allardyce it up today, which is just park the bus for 90 minutes and grab him on the break, get a goal, and we head back to London with the 3 points in back. I'll take anything. I'm not that bothered about how we get it, who gets it. Just, can we please just win this game? It would give us such a big lift as well, and it sort of takes the pressure off a little bit. And I'll tell you what, anybody that's still to play this weekend, Nottingham Forest, for example, all the pressure goes over to them, saying, good luck with that one. Wolves have won, West Ham have won, Everton have won. Now it's your turn. Go on, what are you going to come up with? Forest are playing Leeds, so they can't both win.
They can't.
No,
that would be bad. I'll tell you what, I'll be launching an inquiry if they did.
Tune in tomorrow for more intelligent commentary here on Hammers Chat. But you know what I mean, though. If we get something tonight, it just puts all the pressure on Leeds and Forest, saying, right, your turn then. What are you going to do? And then Leeds play midweek as well against Man United. It just continues it. And it's a good game for us tonight. I say a big game. It's not really. I think it doesn't really matter in the result. David Moyes will still be here for the Chelsea game. If we lose today, it doesn't mean we're getting relegated, but it's a big opportunity is maybe how I would describe it.
It is a big opportunity. Yeah, I don't subscribe. I think it's. Honestly, I think that the reaction, if we lose to this, and after everything that's happened with Everton and all that, I think not good. Not good. But it would be a bad. No,
but I'll tell you what, though, you've got to look and think of the opposite as well. What happens if we did win? Could you imagine being Sean Dyche? You're buzzing at the minute, and then you see that Wolves have won, West Ham won away to. It's almost like not pointless, but it's a bit like, oh God Almighty, we pull off an upset, and then the rest of them all go do it as well.
For sure, no, absolutely. And look, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but by the looks of it, he packed out midfield, and he didn't have much possession.
Everton,
yeah.
Oh, they were brilliant. They deserved the win. It wasn't even like the mugged Arsenal off. Oh, yeah,
really?
They were the better team by far. Everton had the best chances. They had more chances. They didn't sit back. They could have been 2-0 up at half time and nobody could have complained. They missed a couple of big opportunities. Decore, Calvert-Lewin missed some big opportunities. Then he got their deserved goal. McNeil setting up Tarkowski with Sean Dyche in the dugout. So it was like Burnley. But yeah, Everton generally really, really good today. Deserved the 3 points. There was no complaints whatsoever. So
fair enough. Yes. Well,
anyway,
I'd say not normally good. I love to see Arteta losing. It's just a shame it was Everton.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he behaved himself today with Dyche next to him.
He bloody did.
There was no jumping around. Anyway,
it wasn't.
Mr. Walsh, are you jumping around?
No. Very firmly in my seat for this one.
You need an injection as well, then.
You do.
I
need
do.
Mojo injection.
I do. I need more than that. I'll tell you that much. I need more too much.
Charlie, can we get the poll results, please?
Yeah, go on then. We asked how you were feeling about the starting 11s, and surprisingly, it was the most positive it's ever been. 1% of people said they were fuming. 6% of people said it's poor. 26% said very happy, and 67% said it's all right, which is the most combined, the most positive that's ever been by a significant distance. Usually, it's a little bit closer between very happy and poor. It's just sort of in there.
That's excellent. Yeah. I don't know what the poll was. I didn't even know that was an option. So it's just not unhappy. You've gone. Like you got the nuclear option. I like that, and I quite like the fact that 1% of people have voted for it as well. I think that's brilliant.
1% of people are fuming. They are fuming, Gonzo. They are fuming. But yeah, that's the most positive it's ever been, to be fair.
Charlie, before me and Gonzo go, what's your score prediction? What are you vibing?
Let me actually look at the Newcastle lineup. Is it what we think it is? Okay, it basically is what we're thinking. 2-1 Newcastle. I just look at it and I don't think they will. I'm very strongly believing that Newcastle at some point are going to drop out. I do think it's going to happen. I don't think their form's going to drop off a massive cliff and they're going to disappear into obscurity. But I don't think they're going to get top 4. And I think at some point it's going to catch up with them. People like Miguel Almiron do not become world-class Premier League players overnight. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so at some point I think it's going to drop off. Do I think today's the game? No, I don't. I think they play into us. I think it's going to play into us a little bit. I think we're starting to see the traction engine starting again, but I am not massively confident of getting a massive result today. So I'll say 2-1. But if it's 2-1 and we play well, I'm happy with that. You know, I think for me right now, it's just about building performances, especially over the next couple of games. It's just about seeing what the performances are. And as long as those are being built and we're still seeing the glimmers of hope, we're still seeing that build up, then I'm happy that when the games come around that are more winnable, we win them. But yeah, today, 2-1, I would say probably.
Well, I hope you're wrong, because we need a point, and we need a point. Myself and Gonzo Gunners disappear, but don't go anywhere, because Charlie's with you right through to the final whistle. I'll be back at half-time to join in for a catch-up on the first 45. Then myself and Gonzo will be back at full-time as well. We'll catch you in a bit, Charlie. It's all yours.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Gonzo. And thank you, all of you, for joining. How are you all? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Make sure you're having a grand old day and a good weekend overall. But let's ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible, how confident are you of a West Ham result? None of this scoreline stuff. Result. Now, you could say that's a win. You could say it's a draw. Whatever you think in your head is a result. How confident are you of it happening? Good to see you, Mick. Good to see everyone saying hello. Good to see you, Sat. By the way, to answer your question, Sat, that you saw, I saw it when I woke up. I say this morning. The show had already started by the time I woke up, which shows you where I'm at. She will be fine. A week of hell, but she will be fine. Thank you. Joan, good to see you. Hello to everyone in the chat who's saying hello. Bobby66, I can see you saying hello. Evening. Hello, everyone. But while that happens, let's look through the teams. Because again, I'll be honest, by the time the West Ham team was out, I was waking up. That's where we're at today. So I don't fully know exactly what the team looks like. I sort of do, but my brain hasn't taken it in. So let's have a gander. West Ham lineup as such. I also have no clue what's on the bench. Fabianski, Sufal, Kera, Ogbonna, Aged, and Emerson. Standard. Probably makes sense. Rice, Paqueta makes sense. Ben Rama, Bo, and Antonio. Okay, so that's the lineup as much as it's going to make sense, right? That's your standard West Ham lineup. It's one that I don't know what Gonzo said today, but usually you would hear Gonzo say he's not too happy about. He wants to give the opposition something to think about, whereas that's pretty predictable. Let's be real. You could maybe say Johnson for Sufal or Johnson for Kera. You could maybe make an argument for Fornals, for example. There's stuff there you can make arguments for, but that arguably out of the players available, not including Danny Ings, because Jesus Christ, that's a scary situation. Pardon me. That is probably the strongest 11 you're going to see for West Ham, I reckon. Personally, that's what I think. Looking at the bench, Hegi Anang. Okay, so Ariola's out injured. Okay, or gone AWOL, who knows. Johnson, Cresswell, Fornals, Lanzini, Downs, Ings, Souček. Okay. And that's a relatively strong bench-ish. You don't really... our eternal problem of not really having many attacking wingers continues to exist. Obviously, they're not just going to appear overnight. So ignoring that weakness in our bench is actually pretty all right. It's pretty balanced. The double goalkeeper is completely unnecessary because what? You're not going to bring on one youth player, David Moyes. You're not going to bring on two youth goalkeepers, are you? You're a liar, sir. Don't act like you're not. But outside of that, that's a pretty strong bench. I am very worried about Danny Ings, though. I can't lie. I'm very concerned about Danny Ings. We'll get on to that, though. Stu from the Sable Team. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Subscribe to them if you haven't already. It says 6, 3, 1, 8, 0. Lots of it's big gaps right now. I'm loving it. I mean, it's stressful from a West Ham confidence perspective, but from a chat perspective, I'm loving it. Afternoon, Simon. Good to see you. Natan's fine. Good, mate. Good. 2, 1, 0, 4, 5. Okay, we're starting to see a mean average pop up now. 2, 6, 7, 9, 7.35. Oh, we're dragging it back up again, back down to 3, 7. So I'm good to see 5, 5, 4. Lose, I'm afraid. 7, 5, 5. Sai saying hello. Good to see you, Sai. Hope you're well, bro. 6, 2, -2, says Obsidian. We can only hope, Alex. We can only hope. 6, 5, 8, 7, 5, 4, 6. A lot higher than I did yesterday. The other results have helped. I haven't even seen the other results. I've got no idea what's going on. Couple of 6s, 7s. So there's a little bit more confidence than I would have suspected. I mean, Home Dinners are saying, I think we'll get thumped. Newcastle needs to win now to stay in touch with Man United. So you've also got that aspect. And you have some other people like Mojo saying your 4s and stuff like that. And 5s, kind of in the middle. 8, counting on a draw as a result. No my. Completely up to you. What you can count as a result. But there's a little bit more confidence than I would have thought. To be fair, I would suspect it would be significantly lower. But we take that. We'll take that. 5 might stick a 0-0 with Kerr at the back. Clean sheet does look unlikely. Not wrong. Let's have a look at what team will be trying to score against it. And that is Nick Pope in goal. Trippier, Shah, Botman, Dan Burn, Longstaff and Willock, Joe Linton, Almiron, St. Maximin, and Callum Wilson. As I said a minute ago, about as much as it's the lineup you would expect. Without certain people like Bruno and Isak, you would expect this exact lineup. Wilson's not being on scoring form, as he said on the podcast with Mikel Antonio. They're both threatening each other. You love to see it. Yeah, I mean, look, people have said this in the live chat. This isn't far from it. This is far from a Charlie Walsh original thought. This is not the first time you're ever going to hear this. But on paper, is our team that much worse than that? I don't think it is. In fact, I would maybe make the argument it's better. I mean, Nick Pope in goal, probably better than Fabianski. Trippier better than Soufal. Is Shah that much better? Shah's probably only better than what? Shah's probably only better than Kehrer. And Kehrer has been great before joining West Ham, but probably only better than Kehrer. Outside of that, is he as good as Ogbonna? Probably-ish. Maybe, probably not, actually. Is he as good as Aged? Nowhere close. Botman's really good. I'll give Botman that. Dan Burn is having a great season. I'm not convinced by him long-term, but he's having a great season. Sean Longstaff is fine. Joe Willock is fine. Joe Linton is fine. Miguel Almiron is not, I refuse to believe, is as good as his numbers say he is. Those goal-scoring numbers won't stick. St. Maximin, obviously we know what he's good, but lacks end products a lot of the time, and form a lot of the time, but when he's on, he's flipping dangerous. And Callum Wilson is fine. I mean, I don't know. It's one of these things where they're playing out of their skin, and it's really difficult to say with Newcastle, because you look at it, you go, on paper, we should be beating this team, or we should be at least competitive, if not beating this team, and yet they're in unbelievable form this season, and it makes it difficult to even begin to suggest that we're going to beat them. Substitutions: Dubravka, Dummett, Lascelles, Gordon, Ritchie, Lewis, Fraser, Murphy, and Anderson. Of course, Anthony Gordon, one of their big signings. So it's one of those things. Where's the button I'm looking for? It's one of those things where I don't know how to feel about it because I really shouldn't be as concerned as I am, but I am. I can't act like I'm not. Big Craig scoring for Wolves. Everyone give it up. I know no one wants to, but come on, Big Craig. I just want him to succeed. Yes. And that's also something I have to message you about, Pocky. Sat. I always need to message you about that next week. I'll message you later. We'll figure out a time. But that is coming soon. That will be on the Two Spanners One Hammer Patreon podcast, the one that is on the Hammers Chat Patreon, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. If you're going to sign up, now's the best time to do it. Beginning of the month, the earlier you do it, the better. You get what I'm saying. You understand where I'm coming from with all that. Sign up because that's going to be this week. We've got pockets. I've got them over there in a box. Lots of stuff to try. It's going to be an exciting episode. So if you haven't already, and thank you very much, by the way, for the 1,000 yen super chat. Barry quite literally mugs the defender and plays it straight. Listen, vibes in it. I just, we have no chance of winning. Just be realistic. This is the thing. I don't necessarily think that the realistic part of my brain, Raja, is saying we have no chance. And that's why I said 2-1. When Geo pushed me for 1, I said 2-1. Maybe by the end of this conversation we will have, maybe I'll change. But I did say 2-1. I can't act like there isn't part of me that thinks actually we have something here. Because we're getting a bit of form together. We're finding a little bit of it, not great amounts, but we're finding a little bit of it. But we'll see. This is the West Ham bench, and I'm picking that up because I'm going to ask you now for your sub bingo. This is, of course, the game where we predict where David Moyes will make his first substitution. You don't have to say the player, but if you want to, there they are along the screen. A little bit of spice is always lovely. Just the minute counts, though. Love those in the chat. While you do that, I need to put Sat's thing in the top right corner. Should probably do it through here. This will make my life easier. I'll go with 69 minutes as per usual. I don't think I can deviate from the classics today. I I would say 69 minutes, and I would make an argument. I would make the argument for. Benrahma for Souček. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe a bit wild, but I'll say Benrahma Souček. That's my shot in the dark, and I think it is a shot in the dark. But that's what I'm going to say. I'm in slight belief as well, especially when I just heard Geo say that they deserved it. I didn't see the match, but that's what he said. And for some reason, I trust him. Don't know why. But yeah, I can't believe that either. No point comparing players. Charlie chess matches start even. Do you know what? That's a banging comparison, Obsidian Curse. To be fair to you, mate, that is an unreal comparison. You're right. You're 100% correct. Am I going to do it anyway? Of course I will. I always will. But that is a banging way of wording it. That a fair play. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Moyes is a real sour-faced prick. Don't know why he even gives interviews. Because it's part of the job, I guess. There he is, Big Dave. Hanging out. I, of course, am in the sunny climes of North Idaho. Snowy, as per usual over here. Snowing in. I'm concerned about the signal. We'll see how that ends up because it is not available to watch legally in the UK. So if you are looking for a way to watch it, of course, well, it is. It's on Sky Sports, but I can't watch Sky Sports. I can only watch BT Sports because I don't have BT Sports. You understand what I'm saying? If you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are ways you could do it. Scroll down into the link in the description below. There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat, West Ham community fans of all clubs welcome. Lovely place to have a little cheeky conversations, but more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you can see a bit there called Streamlinks, in which you find what you're looking for. And shout out to Mulch, by the way, for making that, because it is a beautiful animation and something that, frankly, I'm nowhere near capable enough of making. Nowhere near capable enough of making. We change that thumbnail so that says watch along while we're here. It does good. You love to see it. 185 likes. Let's go. Right, let's have a look at some of these sub bingos then, shall we? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I do not think Lampard is a good manager in any way, shape, or form. 68, 81st, 62, 63, 72, 70, 65, 74, 70th. 63, Ings. In my head, I almost hope we don't bring Ings on, because I'm very scared about this injury and the injections and all this. It just does not fill me with confidence whatsoever. But at the same time, listen, if he's fit, he's fit. But get him on. But 83rd minute. 67th minute. You back in the UK, Charlie? No, I am in North Idaho today because I cannot watch Sky Sports legally, so I am in North Idaho. Unfortunately, it's the way these things go. Souček will be the first sub. That's kind of my vibe as well. Raja, that's kind of my vibe. 55th minute, Benny for Souček as we will be 1-0 up. Ben Rama was the other one I was thinking about with Souček, to be honest. Ben Rama was the other one. Or maybe 4 nows. That's the other one that seems obvious. 15 mins, injury to Souček. Stress, Robert. Stress. Fabbing goal again, Mighty. He is, but it's what should be noted is that Areola is obviously not on the bench, as you can see down there. He's injured. Let me bring up both teams so you can see them. I've just seen the word Jeffrey Schlupp. This is important to me. Oh, it's just a good... This is good. I'm changing my mind. We're winning. We're winning today. Screw that. 1-0 West Ham. It's happening. The day is good. When days like this do not come along, so you have to savor them. Jeffrey Schlupp and Craig Dawson scoring is a good day. That's a 1-0 West Ham day. Eric saying 71st minute, 84th minute. When you know, you know. Says Sean. Minute 3 says Danny Boy. 55 minutes says Arthur Kara gets taken off to save him from further embarrassment. That is the eternal concern in that lineup is Kara. I mean, look, we're playing him in his strongest position today. Being at right centre back, we're playing him at right centre back in a back 3. That feels like it should be his strongest position. As Gio was saying earlier, I heard him saying that, you know, obviously he played really well when he came in and did good things, but ultimately, you can't act like that is not his strongest position. Probably in a centre back 3 on the right. And we're ready for it all over. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you, Mr. Podgy. Good to see you, my mentor. You know, and sorry if that clap was loud, by the way. I've realised I've just clapped in the middle of nowhere there. I apologise. I need to make it happen. Because, listen, it's the snow. The snow's stopping me, man. That snow is just vicious out there. It's vicious out there. But yeah, I think this is the best opportunity we have for him. This is the best opportunity playing at right centre back in a back 3, and hopefully we see the best out of him because he's good on the ball. I'm very concerned about what happens with late runs towards him. Like Marcus Rashford is the one that always sticks out in my mind. That's my biggest concern when he's playing right centre back. But we'll see. Potentially a big performance. Michael Brown, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. I'll be dovetailing between yours and Titch's channel for the watch along as a Leeds United supporter. I enjoyed your input. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Michael's referring, of course, to the Disabled Team video that I was on last night. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the Disabled Team, already do so. And also, if you don't want to watch my watch along, totally fair. Wouldn't recommend it. Head on over to Hammond's Fans United. Titch is doing a watch along, and I would highly encourage it. You know, I would highly encourage it. Don't need me. Sub 64th minute. Moyes has definitely misinterpreted the new 5 subs rule as no substitutes before the 6. Yeah, something like that. You know, he just can't. He's a confusing man. Injection is good. It's good. He's just a confusing man. He's just a confused man. You know, you have to respect it. Because I couldn't have got as far as he has in a career being as completely baffled by the rules as he is. 80th minute Ings, 82nd minute off injured. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm having a very bad month, Sean. I'll be honest with you. I'm having a bad month for illnesses. You're not wrong. Yeah. Look, if we lose, Moyes goes. I don't think so, Mr. Pardew. I think, well, arguably, no, I don't think so. I think at this point, I think he's here for the long run. We'll see until probably you'd argue Nottingham Forest. If we don't get any points in the next games before Nottingham Forest, I think there's potentially a chance, but I think it's unlikely. I think Nottingham Forest is the next do or die game. I also think we could pick up points in these next 3 games. You're telling me in these next 3 games we lose all of them? It's not that I'd be surprised, but if you're telling me we pick up 1 point in these next 3 games, 1, that's definitely enough to keep him, and 2, I equally wouldn't be surprised. A draw against any of these 3 isn't unheard of. You know, Newcastle, we could get a draw against. Chelsea, we could get a draw against. You know, these are teams that we can draw against, even though it doesn't feel like that would be physically possible. And for some reason, Newcastle seems significantly scarier than, say, Chelsea. But I do feel like a draw is possible, and that's enough to keep him in. If we lose today, does he go? I really do not think so. I really do not think so at all. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will. We'll find out, I guess. Potentially we will definitely find out today. As I said earlier with my score prediction, it's not unheard of. However, I just it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll get on to score. We'll get on to final score predictions in just a moment. Recommend the classic. Do you know what? Genuinely, I don't know if I can cook today. I don't know if I can be asked to cook today. It might be a movement major. It might be a movement major. If so, you best believe I'll be coming back with full review on the next watch along. You best believe that's happening. A very wild statement from Amazon Mikey there, which I almost clicked on before I saw the all caps last word. Fair. Oh, is he not? Then you've got, well, then I would recommend any of the other watch alongs that are happening, to be fair. But I should message Titch there because I didn't know this. I woke up as this show had already on, so this is the way these things go. No subs at all. That'd be different for him. Yeah, none at all, Dave. None at all. Do you know what I mean? He just says, I called you Dave. Is it Dave? I don't know why I've got Dave. I don't remember. The point is, I don't remember. The point is, Doctor, is that wouldn't surprise. It also wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. It also wouldn't surprise me. Victor, he has no options today unless he's going to play a youth team goalkeeper. He has no options today. Areola is not on the bench, so we assume he is injured. He's not on the bench. Why exactly? I can't tell you, but I would assume it's an injury thing. 45 moves subs himself for coach and try when we start attacking. Listen, maybe Michael, maybe that's how we go. Count how many 50-50 balls we win, Charlie. I can't be asked. And I agree with Nicola that he's here for the season. That would be my prediction as well, to be fair. Right, with less than 3 minutes to go. It is Dave. Thank you. I for some reason my brain was just sorry. I'm crashing today. I'll call you Doctor instead. Good afternoon, Ben. I'm at work and can't watch the match. Promise to keep you updated. I will try my hardest, Ben. I will try my hardest. And then, actually, to be fair, what Major says here, if we get spanked by 5 games, I think if we get destroyed in any of these games, then potentially. Yes. Also, I'll say this, Richard. You know when we were all talking about games, and someone said, "Charlie, you should make a game." Or someone said, "Charlie Gaming Channel incoming." Subscribe to A Top Lad because that literally might be starting the second I feel remotely better. A Top Lad on YouTube. Anyway, let's get those score predictions in. We've spoken about the teams, we've spoken about the bench, we've spoken about them, we've discussed it all. We've discussed it at length, okay? We've spoken about it for probably an hour. Now is your final chance, the final score predictions. It's time to lock those bad boys in. That was like a big locking mechanism, it's time to lock them in, boys. It's the predictions time. Get them in the chat. And we will see. Thank you very well. I'm a bit ill today, Gary. I can't lie to you, but we're getting there, bro. We're getting there. And I'm going to say, if we're looking for final lock-ins, screw it. Okay, here's what's happening. I'm buoyed by both Jeffrey Schlupp and Craig Dawson getting on the score sheet today. Two of my Ultimo boys getting on the score sheet today can only be a good sign. I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, Charlie, that's a ridiculous reason to predict West Ham getting any points. And you're right, but that's the only way I think we can predict West Ham getting any points at the moment is through sheer absurdity. Therefore, West Ham United 2, Newcastle United 1. West Ham United 1-0 win. That's what's happening. I don't think we can score 2 against Newcastle. It's going to be a 1-0 win. Although if we went 1-0 up, that would force Newcastle to come at us more, wouldn't it? Because they're under a lot of pressure. So if we somehow manage to get the first goal, then they would put maybe 2-1. I'm going to say 1-0 West Ham. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to say 2-1 because 2 boys scored. Therefore 2-1. That's my logic. Is any of it there? No, you're not muted, sir. You're not muted. You're there. Good to see. We'll see. No, although I was talking to someone this week about getting a haircut. I need to shave first. That's the bigger priority. I do need to get rid of this. But I was thinking about it recently, Raj. It will happen soon. When? Don't know, but it will happen soon. 5-1 Newcastle, 3-0 Newcastle, 3-2 West Ham, 1-1 says the Sable team, 2-0 Newcastle. 2-1 says Chuck. Good to see you, by the way. So I hope you're well. I'd love to get you on Patreon podcast soon again. I'd love to speak to you again about stuff. But yeah, I'll message you individually about that. 11-0 says Ben. 3-0 to Newcastle. 3-2 says Jonathan. 1-1 says Bowen. 1-0 Bowen. Not 1-1 says Lasser about Bowen. Apologies, sir. 1-0 Bowen says come on, you Irons. 2-0 Newcastle. Newcastle to win 2-1. Sadly, we're in real trouble. 2-0, 1-0, 3-3 says Robert Singleton. 2-0, 3-1. Danny Ings, the GOAT. 1-0 says Stephen. 2-2. Have you? I will download WWE 2K22 after this. I will 1000% do it because I think I've got. I think it's on PlayStation Plus. I think you can get the trial on PlayStation Plus at least. So I'll have a look. I need to write that down before I forget. The match has just kicked off, by the way, and you'll be able to see exactly how far behind I am in the timer in the top corner, I should say. Listen, if you're only here for the build-up show, if you're only here just for that, and you're off to watch the game, enjoy yourself. Thank you for coming. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Like the video while you're down there. All of that good stuff. But yeah, we appreciate you coming regardless. And if you are sticking around though, like I say, the timer's in the top corner. Will tell you exactly how far behind you I will be, which will be a little bit because, of course, I am in North Idaho and it's very snowy. It's a very snowy day. You know, it's you know, it goes like this sometimes. Let me turn this down because I'm about to be in big trouble. Volume wise, it's about to be big problems. Big problems for you, boy. No, not like that. Like this. If the North Idaho TV network even begins working, that's the other problem we've got going on. But we'll get there. We'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. We will get there. There we go. We've got the North Idaho TV network working for now. Let me update the timer. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is kicked off. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run two things, as the boy Peach would say. And it's oh my God. It's 1-0 already. As I was saying, deploy the boys. Newcastle have scored. It's Joe Willock as well, who's just absolutely power drove it in. It will surprise no one when I say the word throw in. It came from a throw in. I can't. I haven't really seen the goal. I saw us were conceding a throw in and they came flying in. Oh, it's gone to VAR. And it might have been out for a goal kick. It might have gone out for a goal kick. VAR. So the original cross that came in, I think that's Almiron who hits it in. That looks out to me from one of the angles they're showing. Yeah, that looks like it's out of play. I think this is going to be disallowed. As I said, we conceded a throw in. Ball gets whipped in from the throw in, like played down on the floor. Whipped in, all VAR says. We're back to 0-0. Deploy the boys. Two things, as my boy Peach would say. The quick throw in. 1-2 from Newcastle. It's a really nice play around the back. Ball gets whipped in, but it was out of play from the cross from the byline. And Joe Willock absolutely cuts inside of Naif again and absolutely smashes it in. It's a great finish. It's a great finish. But thankfully, we can scratch that. Oh, Newcastle through, and they've scored again. Oh, they've scored again. Ignore everything I just said. They've scored again. We were coming back from them showing the replay of how the first goal wasn't counting. And as they do that, they take the replay down early. Callum Wilson is through 1-on-1 v Fabianski and finishes it with aplomb. That one feels like it's going to stay. Unless there's something I haven't seen. Big boot out from Fabianski from goal kick. Antonio loses out from the header. Paqueta gets bullied for the control. And that's a great through ball. He's onside. And then Callum Wilson, first time through the middle. It's a great run. That's a great pass as well. Yeah, he looks onside to me. Kera playing him on. Not by much. It's very close. And that is a beautiful finish with his left foot. Fair play. That's 1-0 Newcastle. Everything I said about if, maybe if we get the first goal, maybe they'll be forced to cut, blah, 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 blah. Ignore all that. Ignore that. Ignore that. That's a goal. That's 1-0 Newcastle. That one's standing. That one stays. And there we are. Well then, okay. That's a thing. And now the NEWWHU TV network's failing. That is a whole thing, isn't it? That's a whole thing. I can click on. After that first goal went in, I thought, don't click off the chat so you don't see anything, because you might see spoilers about whether it's disallowed or all that sort of stuff. I just can't. I can barely believe it. I can barely believe it. That's insane. That's insane. How we've managed that, I will never know. How Newcastle have managed it, I'll never know. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I Well, David Moyes, time to step up. Good luck, mate. I wish you all the best figuring this out, because it's not going to happen now. Well, things happen, I don't know what else to say about that. That was just complete and utter chaos. That was mad. They often say when things are going right for you, they're going right, and when things are going wrong for you, they're going wrong. And I think there's no better description of those things than what's just happened there between us and Newcastle. I'm just gonna have to blow my nose a second, because we in trouble here. And look, it's going badly for us. It's going well for them. Makes sense, right? That was horrendous. There's a call for handball against Ben Rama there as he tries to cross the ball in. It doesn't quite work out anyway. 1-1 draw is still on. It is Ross, to be fair. The 1-1 draw is still on, Ross. We're not wrong. We're not wrong. I can't believe that. I genuinely cannot believe that. That is complete and utter chaos. Complete and utter chaos. That was madness. I mean, it's awful from us. It's utterly awful. The goal kick from Fabianski isn't necessarily bad, right? The goal kick from Fabianski isn't awful. That was just a big boot up the pitch. That was just a big boot up the pitch. It was what it was. Mikel Antonio loses out to whichever defender's standing over him. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it was, right? But someone manages to get their foot around him as he loses out, which is like the one thing he's there for, is winning those sort of balls, really. And and it lands at Newcastle. I don't know who played that through ball. That through ball from Newcastle was utterly beautiful. I've got a feeling, given what I've said, it's probably Almiron. And then, Callum Wilson just is alive to it when our defenders aren't. It goes straight through the... Callum Wilson plays through the middle of Ogbonna and Kera. He's onside by an inch. It's very, very close. Oh, Jesus Christ. Almiron charging down Fabianski, forcing it to kick long. This is going to be a long afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a long afternoon. And the Callum Wilson's a beautiful finish. I cannot quite believe all of that has happened. It just feels mad. It just feels mad. I don't know. Anyway, West Ham are passing the ball around at the back. We've got to be careful, because Newcastle can press you off in that situation. We've got to be careful about passing it around in that sort of vibe. Well, brush my hair and call me Madman. How are you, sir? Great to see you. I hope you're well. Scott was in here. Look, last match was very exciting, and now you're here. What a time to be alive. We've been blessed this day. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. More passive than massive is another good one. Obsidian has another very good one. Again, does well, turns it round, plays the ball forward. He Does really well there again, to be fair. Antonio does well to just hunt that ball down. Whips it across the ball. It's not a bad cross the box. There's just no one there. Paqueta's there. Lays it short. Sufal. Oh, Sufal managed somehow that stays in play. I'm not sure how. Paqueta on the edge of the park is just nipped away from St. Maximan. Who then goes for a big searching long ball looking for Callum Wilson, who's up against Tilo Kehrer, who does better that time to force Callum Wilson into a bad position. Wilson is doing stepovers. Just so you're aware of what's going on. Callum Wilson, yes, that one, is doing stepovers. Big hoof up the pitch from Fabianski. Our double pivot in midfield, Paqueta and Rice, are sitting relatively deep right now. And there is a big gap between them and the front three. And to be fair, today, so far, it does feel very much like a front three. Not Antonio completely and utterly isolated. It does feel very much like a front three. Ben Rama and Bowen seem very far forward for now. It will only get worse as the game goes on. But they do seem very far forward. But the gap between Rice and Paqueta and those are very large. And we tend to be just sort of... Now, we're being harried, we're being rushed, but it does tend to just go completely bypass those two into a long ball, either on the floor if it's a Ged or if anyone else kicks it in the air towards that front three, usually Mikel Antonio, as Newcastle are passing it around just outside the box here. And it's not the most fun thing to see because we need to find a little bit of build-up, take a little bit of time. We need to get some people in good positions. And right now, we're feeling very, very stretched. Very stretched. That's a good tackle, though, from Emerson, to be fair. And a little bit of work gets the ball forward to Antonio, who manages to win the header after being shoved. But, you know, early bell. If the people call for it, the people call for it, you know. There are bells available. There are bells available. Newcastle working it down the right-hand side, looking for a cross, maybe via Kieran Trippier. Lay it back to Willock, who whips it into a dangerous area, but Ogbonna does well to get his head on it. They maintain possession of the ball, Newcastle, out wide on the left with St. Maximin. Longstaff with a quick 1-2. Lays it short. Willock in the D, looking to try and shoot. Can't quite find it. It's laid back out wide to Kieran Trippier. Oh, that's a nice ball. That's... And Almiron always getting in. That right-hand side with Trippier and Almiron looking dangerous. Almiron just ran over around the back into space. Trippier with the ability to just dink it into that space. Bellet, this is Bell territory, but we've received enough calls for this may be the earliest Bell we've ever seen. I'm throwing the poll up. We've had enough calls. Bell, yes or no, incoming. I don't know what to do. What's the protocol in this situation? It's so early. This will be the earliest bell ever, Wally. This will be. I'll give you until 13 minutes. Is it too early to bell? Is now the time for bells? Only you can decide. The poll is open in chat. Antonio actually had the D, just taking a shot. There was no real chance of that going in, but he's gone for it. Also, I saw someone saying, nice advertisement of the mug. I'll be honest with you. It's the only one clean in the house. It's the only one clean in the house. So, you know, it's where we are. It's where we are today. I'm having a bad day. It is what it is. I don't necessarily disagree, Richard. What I will say is we've played a lot of formations this year, and none of them have particularly worked that well. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gary, so what's a bell mean? Round here, we believe that baby bells, the cheese, are lucky. So when we feel like we need that injection of luck, if there's 3 calls for baby bells, in the chat, then I pop them the poll in chat. We do it democracy, right? And then if by the end of that poll it is yes rather than no, I go and get a baby bell. We eat the baby bell for luck, and more times than not, it has worked. It has worked. I'll end the poll now. The poll says it was tight, but it was 2/3 yes. 67% said yes. 33% said no. That means we're getting both. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an early bell movement. Before I go, Stu, thank you very much for the £5 for the full-time fund. You didn't have to do that. Towards the bell funds, brother, I think you're going to need a lot of bells for the rest of the season. You ain't wrong, sir. You ain't wrong. That's very kind of you, though. You did not have to do that at all. I'm off to grab a belt. The chat has spoken. Would I have gone for the bell this early? I don't know, but the chat has spoken. Danny will keep you company for a second as I go to the fridge and find the bell. Which way do I need to go? I need to go this way. Give me a second. I've got the bell. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can. I'll be honest with you. I am quite happy that you've gone for it because I haven't eaten today and I'm very hungry. But the bell is here. The bell is here. The bell is here, ladies and gentlemen. We have it, and we're gonna deep dive into it. Oh, I forgot to change the white balance thing. Oh, it's been bad. Didn't even change that. But yeah, so we're gonna bell it. It's early, earliest bell by a significant distance. The bell was called for in the 11th minute. For context, for those keeping count, there we go. For those keeping count, 11th minute. No, my. Listen, if the people want a double belt at some point, we can go for the double belt. But I do have there is another available, but I don't know if I want to do that right now. But I am hungry, so I'm happy we've gone for it. Paqueta goes for a shot from range. It deflects off. Even the threat of the bell, just making them move a little bit more urgently. Now it's time for the silent snack part. The silent snack part. There you go. You love that. It's Paqueta who hits an absolute pinger, bounces off Botman's head, and he's down, which you don't want to see. Now, because of dire situations, calls from dire situations. Another thing I really want right now, I would get my disappointing korma, but a lot of that sounds incredible right now. Bell consumed. No. No, listen, I let the people peer pressure me with votes but when it comes to no. Eat a box of bells and West Ham still lose because listen. We have to believe, as Parappa the rapper once said. Okay? You gotta believe. Now, will it happen? I don't know. Eat another bell now. No. If we get enough calls, then I might go for a secondary belt. But Stevie 51 with 179. I need to put those names in the thing. Thanks, right? This is from Randy. How much are the West Ham mugs? Well, Stevie, I don't remember. Give me 1 second and I can tell you. But you can find out at hammerchatstore.com is the address. We have plenty of mugs up for sale. They are £10 each. Although this one, which is again another reason why this is bad advertising, is currently sold out. I was talking to Geo about ordering stuff the other day. However, there are plenty of other mugs for sale, amongst lots of other things: books, scarves, t-shirts, hoodies. I don't know where my Hammers Chat hoodie is. I need that because it's a beautiful hoodie. It's really warm and I need it. And I don't know where the hell I put it. I've been looking for it for a week. I think it's at the bottom of the I think it's at the bottom of the washing up basket. The point is, there's plenty of other things up for sale. hammerschatstore.com. Check it out. Chop me, kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I think you'll find the things I'll teach you, the sure to beat you, but nevertheless, you get a lesson from teacher. Now kick, punch, etc., etc. Chop, chop, and bop. Bop. Let me have a, let me look those names in the chat. Let me look those names in the bar at the top. I've been meaning to update this graphic for a long time, and I just keep forgetting to do it. At some point, maybe I'll do it. Who knows? It'll be a fun time for us all, won't it? But Wilson battling with Ogbonna there. Ogbonna manages to sort of stop it going out for a corner and get it out for a throw-in with a bit of an acrobatic clearance. There we go. All names are now updated in the bar at the top. Thank you very much, everyone, for donating to the full-time fund. It's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. Newcastle throw-in on the left-hand side. Take it quickly. Forced out. It's going to be another one slightly further down the line. You'll be pleased to know we are very, 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 very deep right now. We've got that 4-4-2 shape in defence-ish. It's not really 4-4-2, is it? No, it's more of a 5-3-2 defence shape with Ben Rama staying slightly forward, Bowen dropping deeper. Big lofted ball across to the left-hand side to Alan St-Maximin, who's running at Soufal. Gets a cross in over the top of everyone, and Emerson stops it. Ow. Newcastle still have the ball, working it on the right-hand side now, trying to find their way down there. They're forced all the way back, though, but they're forced back to the centre-back, so we're standing on the halfway line, and there isn't a West Ham player in about 15 yards of them. Shows you how deep we are right now, looking for a through ball in the middle. Shows that it's such a rare goal for us to concede that second one as well. I mean, we're usually so good at not letting people just break through the middle like that. And it's just getting caught out quickly. It's that fast counter switch just completely doing us in. GP, thank you very much for the £2. That's very kind of you. You did not have to lob that in at all. I know I'm no longer updated. I'm no longer updated. I have to press this. I have to do this. I'm slightly concerned it's going to cut off, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if that cuts off. When the donation bar usually gets this long, sometimes it gets a bit broken. So we'll see. Will it survive? Seems to be surviving. It seems to be surviving. We are almost in 2-bar territory. We are almost in 2-bar territory. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot going on. My trustworthy friend Julius, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Joe Linton plays it out wide to Trippier. A little bit of a slip allows Emerson to get in there. It's an easy foul to give away, that one with Emerson. It's an easy foul to give away. Game has gotten really subdued. The game has gotten really subdued. Which I guess it kind of works for us. I mean, it works for the Newcastle as well. But when it was firing on all cylinders and everything was popping off and going crazy, it was going very bad for us, right? We conceded 2. The second it calms down, they don't look particularly like they're close to scoring. Neither do we, though. And at this point, you need to change it up. You need to flick it round. You need to figure out what you're going to do to make this different. Because right now it's a bit dull. We're sat off a lot. We're trying to press here at the moment. Newcastle are passing it around the back amongst Nick Pope and the centre-backs inside their own area. We're trying to push it. Big long ball from Nick Pope. That should be ours all day. That's Ogbonna bread and butter. Although the header down doesn't get anywhere. Oh, Declan Rice does really well to intercept that one. Nice 1-2 with Paqueta, just allows the space. Turn around and go forward. Yes. This is what we need. Nope. They've turned around and passed it backwards again. You know, it was what it was. It's just sometimes you know. I'm watching this because I can't bear to watch at the moment. PJ, welcome, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If we're going to play like this, I can't see how Ings fits at all. We need to play Antonio, really. I was slightly concerned about that as well. I will say when he came on last time, in the time he got injured, there were some signs for me that he looked like he could fit into this exact system. If you'd asked me beforehand, before that, I would have said none. And I don't think 20 minutes in which he did get injured is evidence of anything. David Moyes hitting the classic meme. You know the meme picture of the guy who stood up in the crowd, who's just like, he's hitting one of those. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that ends up playing out. For me, he was just a ridiculous panic buy anyway, but what can you do? Ooh, that was the noise I had produced. Newcastle almost scoring now. Fabian Schär getting in and around. It was a free kick from deep from Newcastle, just whipped in, a big looping header onwards, and Fabian Schär gets in around the back and tries to just flick it over Fabianski, who comes rushing out. Dan Burn winning a header over Tio Kehrer, call me shocked. And he does well to get there, but the accuracy is not there and it goes right. That was a scary moment. That was a noise I made, and I didn't know I was fully capable of making this ill. However, I did make it. And it's a nice... Emerson did really well there. Ben Rama ends up losing out on the ball to Willock. But I'll tell you what, Emerson did really well there. He got the ball in a really awkward situation and just first time opens up his body. There's a nice pass inwards towards Ben Rama with a little nutmeg on the way through. And unfortunately, we win a threat, so we take it. But Emerson throws it short to Bowen, whose pass forward is instantly cut out. Awful stuff from West Ham from a throw-in, as per usual. You love to see it. Ben Rama, that's nicely done to Emerson. Antonio, whose pass backwards is utterly awful. Antonio looking for that trademark first time layoff turn sprint maneuver that he does. One of the worst passes. It's just an awful pass. PJ, somehow Ings is in the squads. He's on the bench today. Whether or not... I don't know. He was supposed to be out for a month, and now all of a sudden he's on the bench. We'll see. Word has been he's been receiving injections, and we'll see what happens. Lewis says, I see Ings working more at home, but not so much away where we are deep in counter. Hopefully I'm wrong. Well, you look at say the... I mean, it was not necessarily a counter-attack as such, maybe a harsh way of wording it, but the Newcastle goal was counter-attacking, and I think Danny Ings would have done the exact same thing Callum Wilson did there. I don't know. Again, we'll see. Like I said, there were signs the time he played that I was like, okay, I think he could actually do this. But that was also 20 minutes. He was also injured. I can't count that as evidence of anything. Really, if we're being fair and honest about it, you know? Free kick to West Ham, inside our own half. Fabianski to take big searching ball up front that Mikel Antonio Shock is losing out on. Having a rough game, Mikel Antonio, so far. He's been consistently beaten he's getting consistently beaten with first balls. Every time it comes in, be it in the air, be it on the ground, he's getting just consistently beaten. Passes are going wayward. It's just not working for him yet in the opening 25 minutes. Newcastle come away with possession due to it. And when the problem is that's not, it's maybe not so much at the end of the world, but the problem is that is all we have. I'll put the bench up, by the way, just in case you are interested. Ings is indeed on it. It's not the end of the world, but when that long ball out is literally all you have right now, which it feels like it's all we have, and you're just consistently giving the ball straight back to Newcastle from it, it's a bit of a deadness. There you go. You can see the bench running along the bottom of the screen now. You can see Danny Ings is indeed on it, along with 2 youth goalkeepers. 2! But yeah, Yeah, I mean, today it makes sense because clearly he's not fit, right? That's why he's not on the bench, you would imagine. But before then, I don't know. I don't know either. I can't get my head around it either. Antonio, nice layoff. Ben Rama, it's a good position, leaning back, ball going up, hits it well and truly over. Aimed that one, sorry, that might have been really loud. Aimed almost at the away fans in the stadium. Because that one went high. It's Good pressure though from West Ham, winning the ball back. Nice quick passing. Declan Rice dangerously far forward as per usual. You love to see it, but in that instance, he at least plays the ball to Ben Rama nicely. Again, no, definitely shouldn't be there, but you know, we move. We created something, even if it came to nothing. We created something, and that's a positive. That's a positive. West Ham battling for it. We've actually had more shots than Newcastle. They've had 2. We've had 3. I mean, we haven't had any on target. And they've had, obviously, 1. The Callum Wilson one. But, Paqueta, nice pass around the back to Soufal. Find some options. That's nice. Antonio dropping off in that instance is quite nice. Gets fouled in the build-up. Not ideal for us, but fine. We take it. We'll take it. When we're in those positions, I think it's working for us, right? Antonio drops deep off the centre-backs. The centre-backs don't necessarily follow. He has a bit of options, but then they step up onto him and sort of battle him there. But that drop-off, first-time layoff, spin, turn is what is going to be Antonio's biggest joy today. Whether or not it actually happens or not, we'll see. Big boot forward, headed down by Newcastle. And a complete waste of an opportunity as per usual, although good interception. We're having a decent spell here. It has to be said. It's a decent spell. We're not doing brilliantly, don't get me wrong. We're not blitzing him and finding loads of options, but we're doing relatively well. Ben Rama down the left-hand side. That feels like a dive. That felt like a dive to me. Then Rama goes down on the left-hand side under pressure from Kieran Trippier, who did look a little bit guilty, but we'll see. A step over from Ben Rama. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think there was maybe a mild clip, but nowhere near enough to go down. And the way he goes down is awkward enough. Is awkward enough to just, you know, raise questions in the referee's mind and mine. To be fair, I wouldn't have given that as a foul either. But yeah, we're having a decent period. I don't want to say, I'm not saying we're playing well or anything. We're not playing brilliantly, but we're certainly the better of the two teams right now. Bowen again wins the ball back. Newcastle looking a little bit shaky here. Declan Rice charging forward as per usual. Finds Ben Rama out wide on the left hand side. Emerson, nice quick turn inwards. Lays it short to Paqueta, who hits it off Bowen. But Paqueta again hits it just right. Oh, just wide. I think it was a deflection though. I think he said deflection. Emerson does really well there. Pulls it across to Paqueta, who hits it from range. That's actually on target. It deflects off Bowen and a Newcastle defender. Comes back at Paqueta, who hits it. And I think, yeah, it hits off one of the defenders. I'm not sure which one. I think it might be Botman. Or is Dan Burn. It hits off Dan Burn's heel and goes out for a corner. That's well done. That's well done. Like I said, we're having a decent spell. We're having a decent spell. In games like this, though, you have to make them count. Because Jesus Christ, if you don't, you're in trouble. The North Idaho TV network keeps giving me the weirdest advert. And anyway, Declan Rice is going to take the corner. I mean, I guess we have no one who's actually good at them, so why not? But oh, great chance! Oh, Paqueta has scored. Paqueta has scored, and he does some acrobatics, which I can't lie, terrified me for a moment he might get injured. Paqueta has scored. Wait, yes. Paqueta has scored. Paqueta has, ladies and gentlemen. I did say I think we've been the better right now. Newcastle have been the better team, but we have been the better in the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes. I think we've had the better opportunities. Declan Rice whips in the ball to the near post as per usual. It just sort of goes over the top of everyone. No one gets even close to it. And Paqueta, who was battling at the back post for it with, I think, Kieran Trippier's like grips. He's not even looking at the ball. He's literally pushing Paqueta as much as he possibly could. There's a brief header off Joe Linton, and Paqueta picks up the ball in the 6-yard box, controls it, nutmegs Kieran Trippier with the shot, and then hits a frankly terrifying piece of acrobatics from a fitness perspective. And it is officially West Ham United 1, Newcastle 1. My God. Well then, maybe all hope is not lost. I do genuinely believe we've been the better team. We're through again. Oh, Bowen, it's an awful pass. I do genuinely believe we have been the better team. We've been the bells, bro. The bells. After we had them, we started getting. I'm just saying. David, please. David, please, not now. Although, at the same time, you know. At the same time. Also, hang on. There's just a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now. I did say I think we've been better, and we get a goal from it, which is good. It was a lot. There was some fortune in that goal, considering just a lot of the corner. That's really well done from again. Good work. Good work. Lots of people calling for bells again. I don't know whether people are calling for a bell or celebrating the bell. Big ups Angelica Bell, as per usual. What a G. Shout out Angelica Bell. Absolute legend of the game. Big ups, thank you very much. Also, I've seen Danny Dyer's Chocolate Monkeyness is back. Gary, you asked about the Royal Rumble. I thought if you look at the matches individually, I don't think any of them were particularly great. I thought the main event was really good. I enjoyed the end of both Rumbles, although I think the majority of both Rumbles weren't great. I enjoyed the end of both of them. I think the winners were all correct overall. But that ending of the show was incredible. One of the best things you'll ever see in wrestling. So good. So good. Eat 6 bells, eat another bell. Bring up the second bell. And deck in the mud. Yes, Mr. Pardew. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, well, there's been enough calls for Bell again. So we'll lob a second poll in chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's going in for Bell again. Bell, yes or no? Coming in hot once again. Whether or not you go for it or not is up to you. We'll give you until 36 to decide. I should have just brought a second one in. That was poor for me. I should have just brought a second one in. Shout out Angelica Bell. You know, she doesn't know this. A lot like he doesn't know this. But there are certain legends on this stream. You've got Danny DeVito. Danny Dyer's decent as well. But you've got Danny DeVito. You've got Ed. Ed's a legend. You've got Angelica Bell. She's a legend. There's just a lot of legends, you know, and they don't know it. But there's a group of people here who just think they're great. Played out wide from Aguirre to Emerson, who's having another decent game, to be fair. Offensively, at least I think he's having a good game. Aguirre with that big long searching ball to the right doesn't quite work out. Paqueta wins it off Sir Maximan and then just gets bullied a little bit off there. Played forward. This is a dangerous opportunity for Newcastle. This is where they've been dangerous before. Looking wide out to the right-hand side for Almiron, who's on the touchline. Looking maybe to try and cross it in. Can't quite get there. Trippier has arrived, but instead they go inwards. Willock lays it short. Newcastle can't find the options, and this is now prime West Ham under David Moyes, just keeping it locked, keeping it solid in the centre, and then just passing it around, letting the other team pass it around, trying to see if they can take across if you want. You ain't going to win that header. You ain't got the facilities for that, big man, you know. And now Newcastle can't quite even find that opportunity and are forced all the way back. This is classic David Moyes West Ham right now. Classic David Moyes West Ham. I also just realised it's 36. Let's have a look. It's ended 71% said yes for the bell. And 28%, 29% said no. Ben Rama cuts inside, cuts past one, cuts past two, hits it wide. But look, he tried it. I've got to go and get another bell. Again, I'm hungry, so I'm not necessarily complaining. Although this much cheese does feel like a mistake. Sorry, Danny. It does feel like an error. It does feel like an error on my part. It feels like something that could potentially be a regret in about an hour's time. But anyway, we'll go grab it. We'll go grab it. You know? Jesus. We've got it. The bell has been acquired. I was half expecting to come back and see yet another goal. I can't lie. Not for us or for them. I don't really know who for, but it just felt like it was possible. Newcastle are on the ball. Passing it around. There we go. Passing it around. But we do have the bell, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is here. And we have one more available as well today. Again, I don't want to eat a third baby bell. But if the chat call for it, there is a third bell available. This could be Judas. Of course, I can put the bench up, my friend. Give me a second. There you go. That is the bench. Whipped in from Longstaff. Ooh, scary for a moment there. It was on target, the cross. It was a cross that was looping into the net, but thankfully Fabianski collects it. Lee, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. Lee, of course, has an amazing channel himself, but also works with the disabled team a lot, does a lot of stuff on there with Stuart, and I would highly recommend you check him out. Lee, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're well. Save half that. Look, the chat called for it. The chat called for it. Personally, look, we're here where we are, but the second baby bell is in. It's going in, ladies and gentlemen. It's going in. Last time, I popped it all in one. That seemed to have an effect. We're going to do it again. Soufal charging forward. Whips the ball in towards Antonio. It's a good header away from Newcastle. Paqueta finds Bowen. We're just going to pop it all in again because, you know, it worked the first time. Will it work the second time? Also, it was... I'm just saying, Glenn, it wasn't as controlled as a Ricochet. This was not Osprey versus Ricochet in Best of the Super Juniors, you know, double backflip land, superhero. It wasn't that, you know what I mean? But we take it. Highway. I just said the word sideways. Don't know why. It just was what was in my head. The chat called for it. The chat called for it, you know? Again, keeping that one calm from the long ball forward. The second bell is in, ladies and gentlemen. It is unprecedented scenes. The first one was early. The first one was the earliest we've ever had. This is the earliest second one we've ever had. I mean, these are unprecedented times, Wally. Dangerous times, you know? He's just so good. He's just so good, isn't he? He's just so good. That defending there again, Newcastle looking for that long ball over the top that's been good and working and dangerous for them. And he just cuts it out so well, just nicely. Again, big boot force from West Ham. Straight into the path of one of their centre-backs. I don't know which one. Saint-Maximin looking for the ball, but easily cut out from Thilo Kehrer there. Although a little bit of pressure comes out and it goes out. He does have those go-go gadget legs. You are not wrong. They just seem to extend. We've had 7 shots, by the way. Newcastle have only had 2. Just to put it into context right now, he does have those go-go gadget legs. Good cut out from West Ham there, and again just booted forward. The thing is, a draw kind of works for us. A draw doesn't work for them. I mean, we would prefer a win, but so would they. But a draw kind of works for us, and we're just sort of now just asking Newcastle, go on then. We've gone full Moyes, by the way. We've gone full Moyes right now. We are sat very, very deep. Barely anyone goes forward. Everyone goes back. And then we just sort of hoof it up the pitch if we get the opportunity to. That's a good tackle from Angelo Ogbonna. Yes, good work. Thilo Kehrer battles for the ball, and then again just a hoofed clear from Soufal, and then Benrahma. He should have controlled that one, but we managed to keep possession of the ball. The instantaneous through ball to Antonio wasn't a bad idea, to be fair. Benrahma going flying in with a slight tackle. You'll have to see it. You just... Yeah, we've gone to full Moyes, and to be honest with you, it's working. Shuts the door, says no. Yes. Yes. I was talking to Jack on Hamalytics this week on the Patreon, on patreon.com/Hammerchat. I was speaking to Jack on the Patreon show Hamalytics we do together about Angelo Ogbonna being back in form. And it's just a very exciting time. I'm very happy to see Ogbonna back. And we've got him next to Aged, which is just, it's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's just a beautiful thing. 2 big men saying no. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you got Kehrer next to them, providing a little bit of the spice to the beautiful, good defending Sugar. You know? He causes the problems, they solve it. You know, it's just a lovely combination. Paqueta battling with Saint-Maximin for the ball. Oh, nice layoff from Saint-Maximin. Leaves it short to Dan Burn, who's not the best crosser, but he puts in a... He's not the best crosser, but it wasn't a bad ball. It wasn't a bad ball at all. Listen, I've already put a second bell in, Nicola. I've already put a second bell in. And we're doing well. I can't act like we aren't doing well. I think we are. I think we're the better team right now. Newcastle have more of the ball, but they're not really doing anything with it. to be fair, our counter-attacks have gotten a little bit worse, but like, if you said who's going to score right now, I would say it's probably us. Fabianski with a huge boot forward off the pass from Paqueta. Good work to Declan Rice just to keep that one. Plays a big progressive ball forward to Jared Bowen. You love to see it on the right-hand side. He's running at Newcastle's defence now. Lays it short to Soufal. Jared Bowen not having the best game either, but, you know, Thilo Kehrer getting forward there, but St. Maximin does well to take the ball off him. It's going to be a throw-in in a decent area for West Ham, but it is a throw-in, which means nothing good will come of it. Declan Rice just picking up the ball. It's an awful pass. Thank you. Thankfully, somehow Thilo Kehrer saves it, but still laid out wide to Soufal. Or no, Bowen, I think. Bowen, yet plays it in. Can't quite find anyone with a cross. Newcastle have the opportunity to come away with it. Good cut out from Thilo Kehrer. There you go. Paqueta drifting his way inside. That's going to be a free kick. Easy as you like. Free kick. About 25, 30 yards away from goal, something like that. 25 yards away from goal, something in that sort of range. Just slightly right of centre. Paqueta picks up the ball, takes it past Willock. Willock just a clumsy tackle. It's not one he needs to make. He's not really close to it either. Don't know why he goes for it, to be honest with you, but it's gonna be a thing. Let's sign Chuba Akpom. I mean, what's he up to these days? What's Chuba Akpom? Last time I was aware of him, was he playing for Middlesbrough? Was it Middlesbrough? What's he up to these days? Chuba Akpom. Let's have a look. Where are you at? He's at PAOK. Oh, he's playing in Greece. No. He might be back at Middlesbrough now. He might be back at Middlesbrough. Scratch that. He's back at Middlesbrough. He scored 14 in 22 in the Championship. Chuba Akpom. Back at it again. He's 27. Jesus Christ. Where's my life gone? Free kick comes flowing in. Oh, again. Just over. Where is my life gone? How is Chuba Akpom 27? Also, I did not know until this exact moment. That's wild. I did not know until this moment, by the way. He was from Canning Town. Did not know that about him. Anyway, great ball in. And again, from Soufal. It felt like it was a bit too much, but again, gets on the end of it. Just a little bit underneath it going up. But a nice opportunity. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy with this first half performance. If you take out the opening insanity that was the first 5 minutes of this game, I think we've been comfortably the better team. Maybe not. I think we've been the better team. I don't know if I want to say comfortably, but I think we've been the better team. And I'm happy with that performance so far. If you take out that insane opening 5 minutes, I'm relatively happy with this. Is it the most exciting, dynamic, beautiful performance you've ever seen from a West Ham shirt? No. Is it the most one you've seen on David Moyes? No, it's not. But against a team who are flying very high, who are in incredible form, away to step up and do this, I'm relatively happy with that. The bell has worked so far. The bell's worked so far. Darren. It's just happened. I think we're doing well, JL. I think we're doing well. If anyone else has any opinions, by the way, feel free to let JL know. I'm not the only guy, but yeah. Don't, Mr. Pardew. You're getting me. You're getting me excited. Listen, I said it before I said it. The second clips told me. I said it. Dawson and Schlupp scoring on the same day is a good sign for us. And so far, that has proved to be true. Although that's some nice passing from Newcastle through the centre. Nice 1-2s down the left-hand side into the centre. Joe Linton goes down under the pressure from Soufal, I think. This is going to be the last thing of the half. Kieran Trippier standing over it. A little bit nervous. Something will happen. Although, if I hear the pop noise for when someone joins the thing, I know Geo's here and we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a free kick to Kieran Trippier, or to Newcastle, but obviously Kieran Trippier's taking it. Puts it into a not bad area. It's headed away, and there is the halftime whistle. Halftime score: Newcastle 1, West Ham 1. And again, I'll be honest with you. I can't act like I'm against it. I think we've been the better team. I do. I'm not going to sit here, like I say, I'm not going to sit here and even begin to suggest that it was the most incredible, silky West Ham performance you've ever seen in your life. I'm not going to sit here and act like, we are this unbeatable force who are beating the mighty Newcastle with all of their money in this incredible... I'm not going to sit here and suggest that. And that opening 5 minutes was pure insanity and some awful, awful defending. One, from the throw-in, which is just classic West Ham this season, apparently. And then two, the sort of weird counter-attack ball straight through the middle. I mean, there was just some awful defending in there, right? But you take out that 5 minutes... And I can't act like I'm annoyed about that performance. I can't act like we've been bad. I can't even act like we've been the worst team. We've been significantly, not maybe significantly, we have been the better team. I mean, to say they've had 2 shots that we've had 8, I don't know. I think it's kind of indicative. I don't know, though. How does Geo Mackie feel about it?
Hey, I'm happy.
Same.
I think we've had a good 40 minutes.
Yeah. This is what I was just saying. Take out that completely and utterly insane opening 5 minutes where I don't even know if the team had heard of the concept of defending, let alone try to implement it, because Jesus Christ, what was going on there? Outside of that, I think we have been, maybe perhaps the word comfortably, the better team.
Yeah, I think we have been the better side. I do think up until we scored an equalizer, I thought we were playing, after the 5th minute up until Paqueta scored, that we were on top a little bit. But there is that element of me which says the game is only being played like this because it's 1-0 Newcastle. Had they not scored, they wouldn't be sitting back. They'd be a lot more in your face, higher tempo, so on and so forth. So there was an element of me at 1-0 down, a bit worried that we were looking good because Newcastle were letting us look good. And it was a case of, well, how are you going to break us down if we don't concede goals? But we've got the equaliser, and since then, I think we've been a better team as well. From 1-1 onwards, I think we've still been the better team. I think Agard should have done a bit better with his opportunity. I think Saeed Benrahma should have done a lot better with his opportunity as well. The chances have been there for us. The chances have been there. I've actually possibly been more impressed in that 40 minutes than I have been in the other games of 2023, and we've won those games. So I've been more impressed today than I have been against Everton because we're playing such a quality opposition and we're playing really well. I've been more impressed today than I have been against Brentford in the Cup because I was bored watching that. We won, but it wasn't great. There was very little I could take from it into the next game. I'm seeing a lot of positives out there tonight. I think 1 or 2 players can go up a few gears yet. Newcastle will be getting a bollocking from Eddie Howe at half-time, though. We'll see a different Newcastle in the second half, so we need to step up ourselves. But we can win this game, Charlie. I'll still be happy with a point, but the opportunity is there to go get all 3.
I agree. Just before I run away, I'll say make sure to like the video. We are dangerously close to 300 likes, so make sure to get on that and subscribe for future videos. Hammers Chat, patreon.com/Hammers Chat, early in the month, best time to do it. Gio, just before I go, did you know Chuba Akpom is now 27 years old? I know I've been messaging you recently about youth players and going, Jesus Christ, what happened? How is Chuba Akpom 27 years old? I can't be dealing with this as a fact, Gio.
I don't know, my friend.
I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to go for a bit.
Right, let's see what you're all saying. I want to see what you're saying. So get your thoughts into the live chat. Come on, you Iron says that we're playing well at the moment. We look good. Hopefully we can keep this up. Dan says, tell Paqueta not to do flips. I get what you said there, especially when he didn't land it smooth, did he? It was a bit of a stuttered landing. So I was like, oh no, he's just going to put his back out or something. KM says, in spite of Moyes and Fabianski, we can get something from this. We must play fast and low. Paqueta did well to score, but loitering on the ball too much again. Kerr's a liability and Emerson's pointless. I think that's a bit harsh. I think it's a bit harsh, but... And Sufal being on Suswatch, I'm assuming that you mean suspicious or something. I don't know, but I think Sufal's had a good half. Bro says Sufal's been super, as has Rice and Paqueta. John said much better, albeit after the first 10 minutes. Mancunian says we should go for Wayne and get a midfielder on for Taylor Kerr and go to 4 at the back. Jasper says Newcastle are poor without Bruno. Steve says Benrahma's been poor, which is a shame. I have to agree with that. Will says Newcastle will get like in the second half again. Hopefully, apparently they were in the second half against Southampton. They've been quite consistent with their starting 11 as well. So fingers crossed. Mike says Sufal's on form. I think Sufal's got St. Maximum in his pocket. I've been very impressed with Sufal. I think at times he and Kerr have doubled it well in St. Maximum. I think Paqueta's gone over with Soufal and helped him out. And I think the referees allowed a bit of a physical battle. At times it's cost us with their goal. I don't see any fouls in that, but he allowed a little bit of argy-bargy between Antonio and Shah. That's fine. Soufal's... So while we're losing out in some aspects on the pitch because we're getting bullied, I think Soufal is doing the bullying to St. Maximum, and he's using the referee's tolerance to say, right, well, you're going to allow that, I'm going to have a go. And the referee's letting it go as well. I think Soufal's having an absolute blinder in that first half. Let's see what you're all saying. Keep coming in. Harry agrees. We've had a good 40 minutes. David thinks Emerson's been called him, and Ben thinks Antonio is causing a problem. Stevie says it's a good first half in the end. Ironic said we need a goal in our net before we start playing. Well, I guess while that's true, I guess it's good that we concede in the second minute, isn't it? So we can get going from then. Hammer 1999 says Fabianski's distribution is terrible. Ben Rama's been playing poorly. Ben Rama's poor decision making. Rice has been excellent. We can win this. Cap says we look much better with Gerd. I mean, tell you what, he switched off, didn't he, for the goal that got disallowed. Jesus, but he has played really good since. Just a little bit of appreciation, I think, from Darren for Gerd. I'm not too sure. Gary says it's a good Declan Rice, a class act. Bowen, Paqueta and Soufal all playing well. Teapot thinks Emerson's playing well. Jen said Emerson's impressed him. He's able to make space for players better than Creswell can. I actually think he's playing quite well too, to be honest with you. I think Emerson's been fine. John thinks Emerson's growing in confidence game by game. Lackey says going a goal down forced us to go after the game, which could have been a blessing in disguise. We have to keep the same intensity. Saying, I have to agree. I can sense your fear here, Lackey. I can sense it, and I have to agree with it, which is, are we going to come out in the second half and sit back? I wouldn't say we've got Newcastle on the ropes as such, but we've definitely got a bit of momentum. We're playing on the front foot. I like it. Let's keep doing it. Dan says we've got to forward back, bring on Downs and like the 3 centre midfields, pivot and have one shielding. Minnie says Emerson's been great and didn't think Kerr's been that bad either. Ben Rama's our worst player at that half. I have to agree with that. I think Ben Rama has been our worst player. I think Kerr, the problem with Kerr is he starts the game under the microscope because of what he's been like in the previous few. So obviously their goal that did stand, he's at fault there. I don't think he's the only one, but he's at fault. And because of that, after 4 minutes, you've decided Kerr is playing poorly. I think he's been okay. I think he's not been good, but I don't think he's been stinking poor either. Victor says Kerr is losing the ball too much. Yeah, I agree, Malik. That was a foul on Ben Rama by Trippier. I don't know how the referee didn't do that one, but never mind. Ben Rama has been frustrating in offence and defence. Would not be annoyed at finals coming on, says Joshua. Can't disagree. Come on, Iron says we need to move the ball around a bit more quicker, and we need to watch where we are passing when we're playing out from the back. Lewis says it's been a great recovery, but I wish we cut out these early mistakes and slow starts for our game. It's been going on for too long. Granted, today was more extreme than usual. Adam says we might actually be able to get something. Don't want to jinx it. This has actually made me more confident for the game against Chelsea. What about oneself? I agree, but I think we need to get something from the game. I think if we get a point, confidence goes up. We go against Chelsea and we can go in and win that game. Should we lose this game, I think your confidence drops naturally. So I think we need to come away with at least a point. Gaz says that Ben Rama has been holding on to the ball too much, needs to pass it into people with space. Bowen was wide open and he put it in row Z. Bowen looks a bit frustrated with Ben Rama, doesn't he? Do you know when he cut in and Rice made the run and he didn't give it to Rice, he kept cutting in. And to be fair, I don't actually think he did the wrong thing because he gets out the way of Longstaff and he does create that shooting space. He just drags it well wide and it's a poor effort. But when he did it, you could see Rice frustrated. You could see Jared Bowen frustrated beside Ben Rama. So he needs to just up his game, a bit more composure from him. Lewis says more of the same plays. I just hope we don't decide to settle for a point and sit deep in the second half. I agree with that one. Ben says, feel like we're playing with 10 minute time, get Antonio off at half time. I'd leave him on for now. I think he's doing okay. I don't think he's playing that well, but I think he's getting about, and I think he's causing some problems for that Newcastle defence. And we've got Ings on the bench as well, which is a good substitution to have. I don't know if I'd do it just yet, but it would certainly be something I'd be considering later on in the game. Charlie says he's loving a link-up between Emerson and Ben Rama. Jason says we're playing really, really well here. Hope we get something. Would really help our confidence going forward. I agree. Like I said, I think if we can get a point, I think we'll beat Chelsea. I don't know. I just think they're there. Rice, what a corner. I have to confess, was surprised. I mean, I remember when he took his first corner, the very first time he took a corner, it was like bang on the money. And then he took about 4 after, and they were all poor. But today, yes. Do you know something? I quite like that from Paqueta because he got bullied for their goal. He had it. Yolenton got in there for a physical battle and Longstaff nicked it off him. But then for our goal, Kevin Trippier is trying to grapple him and Paqueta just gives him a little bit of a push, not enough, but he gives him a shrug, says off you get, and then he gives himself that space and puts it in the back of the net. So it's nice to see him not go hiding, Paqueta. He's getting challenged out there physically. He's lost the ball a few times, dawdling on the ball, but it's just the tempo of the game. Like Newcastle are a physical team, so he has struggled with that. But it's nice to see him give a little bit back as well and benefit from it. Adam says Aguero should have scored. He should have done a hell of a lot better anyway. It was a free header. It wasn't a difficult cross either. It wasn't whipped in with pace. It was lofted in with a nice pace on it, a nice height for Aguero. He should be doing better. Boots says Emerson is everywhere. He's loving it. John says we need something from this after results went against us. Get at them straight away in the second half. Agree. Wright says it's clear to say that when we're using the ball, we aren't actually a bad side. We're capable of being an informed Newcastle. Who would have thought it? That would be huge. If we win tonight, would be massive. Obviously, the Everton win against Arsenal is the best result of the weekend. You're not going to get a better one than that, given Everton's situation. They're playing top of the league. But I would suggest that this win, if we win tonight, I would suggest it's more impressive than Wolves beating Liverpool at home, given the form of what Liverpool are doing at the minute. I think it would be a tremendous, tremendous result. Like I said, I still think a draw would be good, but I think a win is there for the taking. John said I'll be happy for a draw, but a win is massive for our morale. Anthony says Ben Rama's decision-making isn't great, but he can beat a man. We need that. Ings on later, definitely. I agree. I do agree. We've got a good bench. Do you know something? Our bench is, I don't even think Newcastle's bench is that much there. We've always said it, to be fair, haven't we? Which is they're a better team than the player. Look at the Newcastle bench. Lascelles. Okay, they've got Anthony Gordon on there. Ritchie, Lewis, Fraser, Murphy. Elliot Anderson's a good player. He will be a good player. But ours is, Creswell, Souček, Downs, Lanzini, Fornals, Ings. I would argue, player for player on paper, we've actually got a better bench than Newcastle. It's just a case of can we utilise it to go on and win the game? So that's the big question.
And do you think we will?
I'll give you 2 answers because I'm going to sit on the fence for this one.
Okay.
Based on what I've seen in the first half.
I'm going to ask you to get off the fence straight after, but carry on.
Based on what I've seen on the first half, I would say yes, we can go on and win this game.
Okay.
But given what the manager is like in the past with his substitutions, I'm going to say no, because I don't think he will utilise his bench enough to go on and get the 3 points. But I do think this game will finish a draw. I think we'll get a point.
I'll take that. I'll take
it as well. I think I'll take it. People are saying Soufal's coming off and Johnson's coming on. I mean, that's...
The team are
it's got to be an injury.
I can see Ben Johnson's there, but I think Soufal is also there.
Oh, well then. Maybe it's for Kedah.
I think I can see Soufal and Johnson.
Well, it might be.
I can see them both coming out. So
maybe it's for Kedah then. Yeah, it's Kedah. All right, that's good. Something? I'll take back what I've just said about Moyes. That's decisive.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think Kedah was that bad, but we'll take it. I think it's an upgrade, so I'm not exactly going to complain.
I'll say it finishes 1-1.
Okay, all right, we'll take that, Gio. We'll take that. We'll see you at full time for when it
Cheers.
does finish, and we'll see what you have to say. Until then, we'll stick around, everyone, because we've got watch on for the rest of the show. Make sure if you haven't already to hit that like button. We were dangerously close to 300 before, but we have flown past it. We are at 343 now. We are flying in terms of that. And make sure to subscribe because we have plenty of stuff to come. Plenty of stuff. Make sure to hit that bell notification button because we're the only West Ham channel last season who didn't miss a single game. We did a watch along for every single one, and we've done pretty well this season. We've only missed one, and that was when I was super ill. You can see today I'm not well. Still here making it happen. There has been a substitute at halftime. Ben Johnson has come on for Tilo Kehrer. Like I said, not necessarily against that. I think it's a mild upgrade in terms of trustworthiness. Let's say. I think Tilo Kehrer should be better than him, but you know, the reality is he just isn't. The performances have not been there. West Ham about to kick off the second half against Newcastle. The score is 1-1 at St James's Park. Deploy the boys. Oh, we're gonna have to redo it. We're gonna have to redo it. There was a little cheeky miss kick there. Deploy the boys. Come on, you irons. It's time to run two things. All of that good stuff. It's West Ham United versus Newcastle United. It's 1-1. It's a big result if we can continue it. Like Gio was saying, I think we have been the better side. In that second half, I think we have. In that first half, I think we were the better side. I don't think anyone can say anything otherwise, right? Now, how much better you can have those arguments, but we were the better side. And if we play like we did in that first half, we can get a result here. We can get at least a point here. Newcastle are going to want to come out. They're going to want to play it quickly. They're going to want to hit us fast. They're going to want to make that happen. But realistically, looking for trying to bend it over the top there. Newcastle Bonner does well just to stop Callum Wilson from getting anything out. As long as we can sort of keep that tempo going, I think we'll be good. Somehow an offside from us. We were barely in their half. Don't know how that's happened. Well, there you go, Will. Thank you very much. All praise should go to Ben and the people in the Discord. Ben runs our Discord, and all praise should go to him and the people in there who do it. If you are looking for a way to watch the game, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat, West Ham community fans of all clubs welcome. Just a nice place to have and hang out and chat. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Streamlinks, which you should find what you're looking for. And I can tell you from experience today, they are working. But yeah, I feel like if we're being honest, this is good territory for us. I know we don't want to see us like, look, we weren't flying. It wasn't the most dynamic West Ham performance you're ever going to see. We weren't incredible, blitzing them. Oh my God, look how good we are. But we were just solidly better than them. And I think if we can get another 45 minutes of that, we can get at least, Paqueta does really well there. Nice little touch. I mean, it's been completely covered currently by big PNGs of Newcastle's players, but it was a beautiful little there, you know. Anyway, you can. I think this is good for us. We need to keep that tempo slow. We need to be strong. We need to keep it tight. And as long as we do those things, we have a good opportunity here, a good chance. West Ham have the ball, but we lose out. No, we have a throw in. We have a throw in down the right hand side. Bit nervy, yeah, bit nervy. That's fine, but that's fine though. It's fine though. First half we started unbelievably nervy. We conceded 2. Like it happens, but you know, as long as we can sort of settle into our calm form, and again, don't let them raise the tempo. That's the big thing here. Oh, that was really nicely done. I don't know who did that, but that was really nicely done, and we had a free kick in a decent position. Is that Paqueta? Yeah, I don't know why I thought it would be anyone else. That was really nicely done. We need to not let them raise the tempo, because that would be an issue. If we get too fast, it's just going to play into their hands. They're going to fly at us. They're going to score. We need to make sure we keep it controlled at the pace we want it to be controlled at. Trouty, good to see you. Hope you well. Hope you well, bro. It was the girl Rhea Ripley. Amazingly as well. That ending sequence with her, Asuka, and Liv Morgan was awesome. Whipped in from Stu Fowl from just on the edge of the air. Headed away. Just from the edge of the pitch, he whips it in. It's almost a crossing position. Bowen again, second time asking. cut out by Burn. To be fair, he is about 8 foot tall. Trying to cross that in over the top of him is difficult. We're going to get another chance. Nice 1-2 with Paqueta. He manages to get the cross in, but that's what happens when you can get it over the top of Dan Burn. It goes all the way to the other side of the pitch because you've had to hit it high. Out wide on the left-hand side, Ben Rama has the ball. Whipped in. Oh, flicked header on. I tell you what, it was a good cross in, and again, in the centre of somehow. I don't know why or how he got there. Little flick on, header, almost ends up in the back of the net. Bowen doesn't look like he's moving mega comfortably right now. They've zoomed in on Jarrod Bowen, and he does not look super comfortable. I will say that. It's close from again. Danny Ings is out warming up. It's very close there. Yeah, he looked really uncomfortable there. He was sort of moving around. He didn't look great. Good. I'm glad, Charlie. I've got a big cold, and I'm not super awake yet, but I'm all right apart from that, mate. I'm all right apart from that. Bowen does well though to battle there with Sven Botman. Who is the other Newcastle centre back? I keep forgetting. Shaw, of course. It's Fabian Shaw. Of course. Bonner finds a Gerd, who then lays it back to Fabianski. Again, that's fine. Just keep the ball away from him. Just play keep away. When we have the ball, keep it calm, keep it controlled, keep possession, and just make sure they can't hit us fast on the counter-attack. That's the only thing we need to avoid. Outside of that, Newcastle look like they don't really have anything at all. Set pieces, danger. I'd be concerned about that. West Ham go down. That's a free kick. Thank you very much. We'll be taking that. I hope so. I hope so. It was Emerson. Emerson's having a good game today. Offensively, again, I think he's having a decent game. And I only say that because I don't know if he's playing defensively very well. Because I don't know. I can't remember. I feel like some of the early stages were coming down his side. Was he at fault for that? I honestly don't know. I can't see enough, so I can't say. But offensively, I think he's having a good game today. Emerson, another good one. He's putting together a little streak here, which is good to see because we've sort of needed it. You know, up until this point, I thought his signing is like, why did we do this? But I think he's getting a bit of form together. We'll be taking that one all day. Let's just whip it in at his head. See what happens. He puts the ball in there. Emerson doesn't quite have anything on it. Sufal again just nods it forward. There's no really one there to capitalise. Rice first time pass inwards. Mistake there. Maybe should have controlled it, but we still maintain possession of the ball. Though I say possession, it was just a massive hoof up towards Antonio. Newcastle is bouncing around a lot here. Bowen committed, but he was a little bit scared against Dan Burn there. Fair point. Both legs flying. Johnson does well there. Susu foul. Back to Fabianski. Awful first touch. Just clear it forwards. We take that. Nice control from Paqueta. Just play keep ball. Nice little flick round to Sufal. Nicely done. West Ham come away with the ball down the right hand side. Bowen doing the classic sprint away backwards. Somehow I felt against Bowen there on St. Maximin. I'm not entirely certain how that happened. I'll be honest with you. But Jarrod Bowen skips around Willock, who gets a bit of touch. There's a foul against Jarrod Bowen on St. Maximin there for a hand to the face. I'll be honest with you. It didn't look. It was one of those ones where he's just holding his arm out to try and stop him from getting forward. But yeah. Yes, Lewis. Yes. In your face. That could only come back to bite us. I'm here for it. Palm face. I don't think we're hanging on. I think we're in control of it. It's not comfortable, but that's a good ball down the right hand side for Newcastle. Play it in. Bloody hell, don't know what the hell happened. Jesus Christ, it's blocked off the line. I don't know what the hell happened there. The ball gets lofted in towards the back. It didn't seem particularly dangerous. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it lands to, I think, St. Maximin, who has a shot. It's lofted in from Kieran Trippier on the overlap. Pass at the back post. Sufal gets the block, and then To be fair, his shot was directly at the goalkeeper on the volley. It would have been something special to have scored from there, to be fair. And it's blocked off the line either by Fabianski or Sufar. I don't know which one of them get the block, but it was a bad shot at the end of it. But my God. Love James Gunn coming in with just confidence levels that you just have to respect. You can't not. So a lot of confidence there, James, and I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for it. Do I agree with it? I don't know, but I'm here for it. Just say 65% possession. To them, I would assume. Let me have a look at it. Let me have a look at the stats. I accidentally opened up that. Don't mean to do that. That's what I'm going to do. So what in the second half? Oh, look at us. Look at us, mate. We are massive. You know what I mean? We are massive. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. We're just clearly humongous. Jared Bowen down the right-hand side, looking to try and cross the ball in. He manages to get a dink in. There's no one really there to capitalise on it. Ben Rama was trying to battle at the back post. To be fair, against Kieran Trippier, that's a possible dub, but if it was anyone but Ben Rama. Emerson collects the ball. He's comfortable with the ball, Emerson. You know, and when he runs with it, it's quite nice. He's much more comfortable on the ball than Cresswell is. Johnson looking to open it up a little bit to find Bowen as well. Just keeping possession of the ball, and this is fine with me. This is totally fine with me. Johnson going for a risky ball. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have gone for, and Antonio gets bullied off the ball again. Ooh, that's a nice ball down the right-hand side for Newcastle. But guess what? It's fine, because we have NEWWHU. And he says, in no uncertain terms, no. No. Okay? You're not allowed to go there. You can't. It's not happening. Not happening. I think he's injured. I don't think it's that deep. I think there's been a lot made about nothing in that situation. I can't lie, but... Ooh... Oh, referee says Newcastle dive. There was a moment there where Joe Linton was going through and he was claiming it looked like a potential penalty, and instead the referee says a dive from Joe Linton under challenge from NEWWHU. Yeah, it's a big boy dive from Joe Linton. Keep trying it, mate. Back to Hoffenheim with you. Not having it, mate. Not having it. No, not having it. Man was already diagonal before NEWWHU even came near him. He went down. He went down quicker than a jobber under a spear from Roman Reigns, bro. By the time, again, right, coming towards Joe Linton, right, again, as he gets near Joe Linton, oh, I'm here, and then he gets near to even touching him. I'm not even sure he touches him. Oh, mate, is that true? NEWWHU. Yes. Oh my God, I'm happy right now. Is that true? That's weird. That's very weird. Can anyone else at anyone else? I mean, Celtic's doing it here, so I would assume yes, but... Dean, try atting me. Try atting Hammer's chat and see if that works. And if that's... I don't know what's going on then. That's really weird. You should still be able to. If anything, it's more important if you're a mod. I don't. It's very odd. West Ham just putting the pressure on Newcastle. Big ball forward. NEWWHU says no. You love to see it. Oh, he's just the best centre-back on the pitch. Sven Botman can get in the bin. Not having it. Not having it. I'm not having it. Yeah, those two worked. Because Spencer did one at me as well, and Dean, you did one. I can see that. It pops up. It pops up as if you've atted me, Dean, is what I'll say. I don't know if the options for like the auto clicking are coming up, but it definitely looks like you've atted me on like the back end. I can see it lit up as if you've been like atted. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. If it carries on, then I could try unmodding you and see if it works then, and then mod you again. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Hooked forward, looking for side Ben Rama. He's putting the pressure on Kieran Trippier. I think that's Kieran Trippier. Manages to control it down, but there was a moment there. He was storming in. St. Maximin plays it out wide. I tell you what, Dean. What I'll do is I'll unmod you now. There you go. You should no longer be a mod. Try adding now and seeing if it works. I'll remod you straight away after. Newcastle coming forward with Alan St. Maximin down the left-hand side. Whipped in. Nodded away. Joe Linton goes down again. Boy who cried wolf, mate. You just dived. Okay? Yeah, Dean, try refreshing, then try adding someone and seeing if it works. You just dived. You can't then complain about not getting decisions. That is your own fault here. It's good ball in from St. Maximin, to be fair. And who's there to say no? It's no F. Bang. Nods it away. No messing. No messing. He's going down too easily, Joe Linton. It's not really a foul. He's going down way too easy. Yeah, Dean, again, that came up like you added me. I don't know if it worked. Did it work for you, Dean? Or is it still no? Because it came up again like you added me. But I know there's no space, so I would assume you had to type it in manually as opposed to just like at HA and then it just auto-completes. I would assume. North Idaho TV network is letting me down. I would have subbed him as well. At that point, it's not going to go well for him, you know. Manually, yeah. That is odd. I've made you moderator again because I trust you implicitly, but that is odd. Oh, please. North Idaho TV network. North Idaho TV network is stuck in an infinite loop. Oh, I should say as well, Dean. By the way, I was gonna DM you this, but I didn't. I unfortunately spent many hours in A&E recently, and I was listening to Isolation Mix, the new one, and it's a banger. If you haven't already checked out Dean, you should check out Dean's work. Dean does big boy DJ mixes that you can find on his Twitter, which is it just at Dean Marsh? I asked this last time and forgot, Dean, and I can only apologise, but I would highly recommend you checking him out because it was a banger and it kept me going in what was an incredibly boring afternoon, an incredibly boring time of my life. So I would highly recommend it. North Idaho TV network is running absolute riot right now. It's jumping about left, right, and centre. There was an R. I thought there was an R. Damn it! Damn it! God damn it! Bollocks. The worst thing is in my head, I was like, I think there's an R in the middle of that, but I can't remember. And I backed out. Damn it. Anyway, the point is, everyone should check it out because honestly, it made it go significantly easier. Just sat there waiting. Everyone else looking sad. Me vibing. Joe Linton does well against Paqueta there. Williot coming away with the ball. How accurate is my timer right now? A little bit off. Let's fix that. There we go. That's going to be a throw into Newcastle. Everyone hold on to your butts. I will take a 1-1. There you go. Yeah. If you're not a Twitter person, lob on over onto the Mixcloud. 100%. Can do naught but recommend. Also, yeah, all good. It wasn't for me, so you know. And that situation is all fine as well. Anyway, the point is, Sven Botman there decided he was Prime Perlo. The problem was, he's not Prime Perlo, and also had no clue what was going on. He just booted it. I don't really know. Dave Moyes just giving Soufal some instructions there, letting him know. I think it's an injury thing. I think that's why Moisasaurus. I reckon that's why he's not starting today. I think it's an injury thing, because remember, he was meant to be out for a week. He's meant to be out for a month, and then all of a sudden, a week and a bit, 2 weeks later, after some injections, he's here. It feels very tenuous to me. It feels like worst case scenario, you could bring this person in. That's my gut feeling with it. I don't know though. I don't know. Maybe it is a Bedigan thing, but it's a bit, you know. NEWWHU again, just saying no, and then Emerson getting involved. The West Ham defence is just starting to come together now. I know we conceded 2 goals in 5 minutes. I understand that. But I will say this. I really think this defence is coming together. Like, you're starting to see it now. Emerson has started to perform. That I'm still a bit iffy on. Soufal's been putting in decent performances recently. With big NEWWHU, the Dome, Angelo Ogbonna, and then potentially Zuma when he comes back, and maybe Ben Johnson in this role until then. Antonio does well. I think that's offside. Oh, but he finds Ben Rama instead of Bowen, who's onside. This is a really good opportunity. He lofted in towards the back. Soufal. It was really much good done. West Ham keep possession of the ball. It's Paqueta there, wide on the right hand side, trying to take it through 2 Newcastle defenders who were battering him. He didn't really have any options there, to be fair to him. And Newcastle can come away with it. This is my concern. When they stretch us and can attack with pace, although good defending from Ben Johnson just stopped ASM from getting any further forward. Looking for that dink over the top for Almiron, looking for the dink over the top towards Wilson. Doesn't quite work out. Fabian Schär on the ball. Longstaff. Joe Linton, they're just passing it around at the moment here, Newcastle, trying to find that space, but we're back in our shape, and I'm not concerned. I really do think, honestly, that good interception from Soufal. I really do think this defense is coming together. I know it's not like finished and it's not perfect, and obviously Newcastle have scored twice in the opening 5 minutes and all that stuff, but when you look at the parts and they're sort of coming together and gelling, I really do think this defense is good. I really do. And I think there's such a good... Whoever the manager is, it doesn't really matter if it's Moyes, it doesn't matter if it's someone else. I think there's such a good basis for this defence now. Newcastle passing it around on the halfway line. Controlled down from Newcastle. It's a big long ball forward. Longstaff can't turn in, and Declan Rice does really well. Good work, Declan Rice. Nips the ball away, takes it round one, plays a nice ball out to Antonio. Do literally anything with it? Okay, that's fine. That's enough. We still got the ball out to Emerson. It wasn't exciting, but it was. We've got the ball. NEWWHU TV Network. Don't do this to me. Not now. Not when we're on the attack. It skipped back 30 seconds. Let's see if it carries on. If it does, that's fine. I take that. Oh, it's skipping around again. Oh no. Okay, right. We're 30 seconds forward. We'll just leave it for now. We'll just leave it and see what happens. We'll see what happens. Newcastle on the ball. They're trying to come forward down the right hand side with Kieran Trippier out wide. I think we've been good, Stu. I think we've been good, mate. I really do. Oh, that's a nice control there from Almiron. And defensively, we've been there. I know it's not the most exciting thing, and I know none of us really want to see us just sit. Oh, good tackle from Soufal. ASM looking for the pen. No, it was a good, clean tackle. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world. I really do. Look, that's such a good tackle from Soufal. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, if we're being honest about Anthony Gordon's coming on for Newcastle. For ASM. ASM's coming off. St. Maximin's coming off. Anthony Gordon's coming on. I think although it's not the most exciting performance you've ever seen in your life, us sitting deep, holding deep, and just sort of counter-attacking and nothing else and sort of keeping up, I honestly think, A, this is the way forward in the next couple of games, and B, against a team who have been this exciting and this good and this whatever, and look at the opening 5 minutes, what happens. It's awesome to see. It's a really good performance. Genuinely a good performance from us. And we have been the better team. We just have. You know? Newcastle, as this half has gone on, might have been getting into the game, might have been gaining more opportunities, all of that sort of stuff. But if you're being honest about it, what's that come to? Nothing. Like, I just look at it and I just think we're looking good right now. It's not exciting. It isn't at all. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's the most like thrilling thing you've ever seen in your life. But we just look the better team, you know? And that's such a big compliment for us. For us this season against Newcastle this season, that's good, you know? That's very good. The possession stats might be disappearing. Paqueta complaining that it maybe should be a yellow card. That is several fouls. He gets fouled in the middle of the park there. Pablo Fornals and Thomas Souček getting spoken to, getting ready to come on. Be interested to see what happens there. You would suspect if Souček and Fornals, you'd probably imagine the bet would be Benrahma and Paqueta, right? That makes sense. Paqueta and Benrahma. Antonio offside. Gutless. Maybe, but also, you know what I mean. What Hughes is saying here, he's a danger, and we can't act like he didn't look good in the derby game. And this is the formation that suits him more. I don't know. It depends where Fornals goes. Pardon me. Towards in the second half of the derby game, and Souček played a little bit more withdrawn. I don't think he was as good in the second half as he was in the first. I thought first half he was brilliant. I thought second half he was good. But, you know, Fornals sort of played this wide sort of right role and could sort of drift in just behind to sort of make it a front two. I would be shocked if that wasn't the plan here. I would be shocked if that isn't the plan here, sort of thing. As the North Idaho TV network lets me down yet again. That's something, at least. It's a minute behind, but it's something. But we'll see. Maybe it's different. Maybe there's a different plan here. Maybe it's just your traditional 3-4-3. Maybe. We'll find out. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. We're back. Looking for Newcastle trying to find their way into the box, but again, just every single person in there just stopping it. There we go. Timer's now accurate. Paqueta collects the ball, just lays it short calmly. Passing round, forced to go long. And I'll say this as much about Antonio. As much as I don't think Antonio's had that good a game, and I really don't, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think he's performed that well. As much as I think that, he's had a difficult job today. He has. I just don't think he's been that good. I think at this point you probably should take off him and bring on Danny Ings. Probably if Danny Ings is fit enough. If he's not fit enough, and we can get away with it, do not bring on Danny Ings. But because his injury, you don't want to re-aggravate that. You don't want to make it worse, right? But Newcastle don't have any answers for what we're doing right now. I'll be honest with you, they don't. What we've got right now, and look, this is the sort of thing that would massively, that's really annoying. I'm sorry, Dean. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. I don't know what the hell's not wrong with you. Jesus Christ, not like that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with YouTube then. That's really annoying. Especially when you're talking to someone like Paul. So Paqueta coming off. Paqueta coming off and Souček coming on. That one was correct. And Benrahma coming off, Fornals coming on. It was as obvious as we thought it was going to be. It was as obvious as we thought it was going to be. tell you what, St James's Park is silent right now. The what do you call it? The hearing the discussion, the announcer calling out the subs. Just you could just hear it echoing around. It was bloody. It was bloody bad. When was the last bell? It was in, what was it, 30th minute, something like that. We had 2 in the first half, Mackenzie. We had the first one in, what was it, 11th minute or something. The second one was in like 30th or something like that. Oof, Evie Brown, thank you very much. Get the likes in, ladies and gentlemen. That is dangerously close. We're at 386 right now. 14 more, we hit 400. 14 more, we hit 400. Aged is just, I don't care what anyone says. Aged is the best. Now, I'm excited to see this because I've just seen, oh my god, Aged as well. So I assume I've got this exciting thing to come. We'll see. Fornals does well. Sorry, Emerson did well. Fornals tried to lay it into him, couldn't quite get there. Now Newcastle counter-attack. I assume this is when the tackle happens. Played into the path of Anthony Gordon. Oh, that's a great ball through. Bin yourself, Callum Wilson. Nowhere for Aged says no, ladies and gentlemen. You do not know. Sven Botman, I'm not interested. Okay, I'm not. Shah, not interested, mate. There's a guy on this pitch, his name is Noah Aged, and he says no. That is awesome. Ball played in round the back. Callum Wilson does absolutely brilliantly to dink back offside, onside, and then make the sprint. He has time and space. He has all the space in the world. He has all the time in the world. He has a head start on Novaged. Fabianski there. He scored that in the first half. Difference is this time, instead of it being on the other side where it was in between Ogbonna and Kera, it was between Ogbonna and Novaged. And he says no, ladies and gentlemen. I love him. I love him so much. Listen, if the people call for bells, I'll put the poll up. Bell. If we get one more call in, I'll put it up. But no if again. No says again. Yes. Yes. Oh, he's just so good, isn't he? He's just so good. I don't know. None of our other you're right with this, but I don't know how many other centre backs in the league could have got that. Pace wise, he's the best. I love him. I love him. All right, there's been enough calls for bells. There's been enough calls for bells for the polls to go up. I'll lob that up now. This is the last one, although I do have to go shopping later, so I'll probably get more. Obviously not before stream ends, but I will get more. By the way, we've hit under 400 likes, so thank you very much, everyone. And Evie, thank you for the reminder. I appreciate that massively. Bell, have we had too many bells? Do we need to go and get bells? Have we had too many? Is now not the time? Danny Ings is about to come on. Apparently, I'm seeing Danny Ings. Didn't know he had that many tattoos. He looks like a made-up character I used to have in like Def Jam Fight for New York. You know. I don't know why I've put my little finger there for sturdy reasons. You know, swinging it like a tankard, like a dwarf. Yes. Bro. Yes. Channeling the power of the bell. You have until 79, let's say. 78 and a half minutes. You have until Danny Ings comes on. Maybe let's say that, when Danny Ings comes on. Because that would be a nice little breakaway moment where I can run away. So whenever that is, that you've got a limited amount of time. Thrown to Newcastle, taken quickly, deep in their own half, so they probably won't score directly from that one, although who knows. Mackenzie, it might be because that's when you opened it. Although Lob are liking, maybe let's get that going, you know. Anthony Gordon cuts inside. He looks alright since coming on, to be fair to him. Finds Joelinton. Out wide to Dan Burn. Dan Burn is very tall, isn't he? Like, I know that. I know. Like, I know he's the tall. I think he might be the tallest or joint tallest with Vestergaard, I think, or something like that. Like, I know how tall he is. But, like, you see him just standing there and he's just bloody massive. It's like some Enzo and Big Cass nonsense. He's just huge. Mate, Def Jam Fight for New York is low-key the best wrestling game ever made. People disagree with me, and they're wrong. It is the best. Def Jam Fight for New York. I never played Vendetta. I never got it. Because it was I only saw Def Jam Fight for New York was the first time I was aware of it. But it's the best wrestling game ever made, and no one can convince me otherwise. We'll stop the poll there, mainly because my North Idaho TV network was better. 75 to 25. 75 to 25, yes. I'm going to grab a third one. This might be a mistake for me on a physical level, but I am going to get the third bell, ladies and gentlemen, the last bell. It's going to be a thing. I'm going to regret it, but I am also hungry. So, you know, triple bell situation incoming. Oh. It's here. I'm going to have to de-net it before de-skinning it. That's the way you want to word it. It's the way I've worded it then, apparently. Should wear a bum bag stuff with bells. Do you know what it is? One stream, I kept it next to me, right? I kept the bell next to me one stream. But my problem was, by the time we had it, it wasn't cold anymore. And it was sort of mushy. And I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? I like my bell cold. And so that's sort of lots of substitutions happening at once here. Willett coming off for Newcastle. I think Anderson coming on maybe. Yeah, Willett coming off and Anderson coming on. I don't know if there was any others. But it looked like there was just lots of boys about. See, a mini fridge. That's a strong shout. That's the sort of vibe, right? Whipped in from Trippier. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Trippier plays a really good ball in, and then a header from, I think it was Callum Wilson, straight at Fabianski. He's got to do better than that. That's a great ball in from Trippier. And to be fair, Callum Wilson at full stretch to get his head onto that, but it's straight at Fabianski. You feel like that was one of those ones where it was so close, with so much power on it, that anywhere else apart from directly at the goalkeeper, and that ends up in the back of the net. Thankfully, it's directly at catching height for Fabianski. And we move on. The silent snack part is happening, but my God. Joe Linton wins a corner off there forget, apparently. See, it's weird that, Joe Linton, if you don't dive, sometimes you get stuff. It's weird how that works out. And I'm going to, again, do the regretful thing and just straight in. The third one is difficult to hit. The third one is very difficult to hit. I can't lie to you. Good block from the corner, by the way. Kieran Trippier can cross it in again. Second corner headed away. We take that. We take that. I think the commentator said we've defended more corner. We've yet to concede from a corner all season. We've yet to concede from a corner all season, I think is what the commentator said. And that's that's 100 now. We're very good at defending corners. Scoring them is a different story, but defending them, we're good. We're good. 3 bells down, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a record-breaking game for bells, you know? Not only did we have the earliest ever bell, not only was it the first time ever we've had 2 bells in a first half with the earliest ever second bell. Have we ever had 3 bells? Has there ever been a triple bell situation? I don't know. I don't know. Suchek, I mean, he gets a head under it, but him and Callum Wilson just coming together. That's a footballing collision, in my opinion. Not one of those ones where there's a foul or any malice. It just is what it is. It's part of the fabric of the game. Fornals, nice little flick downwards, looking for Emerson. It wins a corner to West Ham. Corner in the 84th minute. On the left-hand side, Pablo Fornals winning it with Emerson. Frankfurt, maybe Frankfurt. Maybe Frankfurt. But that was the third. That was the third bell. Frankfurt sounds like something we would have done. At some point, what I want to do is go back and watch all of the watch-longs and see how many bells I've consumed. For stats reasons. What's the bells per 90? Ooh, it's in, headed away. Sufal puts it back into a dangerous point, but the header from Danny Ings can't quite direct it towards goal. It's going to be a goal kick. I don't do well with heat. Did you not see when we were talking about Indian food earlier and I said I get korma? But I can't be dealing with heat. I just can't. Trippier, this is very awkward from Newcastle here. They're going to try and play their way out of it, and they have done very well, to be fair, but that was very awkward for a second. Something we should have capitalised on. To be fair, I physically don't have any more bells. The net is empty. There are no more bells to have, unfortunately. There's only three. There was only three in the... There was only three. You saw the game against Fulham. Sorry, I had the word Fulham. And my brain, speaking of Newcastle, whenever I hear the word Fulham, my brain instantly jumps to the end of Goal, the original, Goal 1, where, spoilers, what's his name? Santiago Muñez, is that his name? I think it is. Whipped him from Newcastle into easy catch from Fabianski. Is shouting at the guy on the other side of the pitch right at the end. He goes, he saw the game against Fulham. And I can't not think about the way he pronounced Fulham. And I think about that line every single time when someone goes, when I see the word Fulham, or I hear it in this context from the commentator saying Fulham, I just hear, he saw the game against Fulham. And to be fair, Newcastle connotations. Quad bells is Uncharted, and I don't know if that's what you know, like how there's certain parts of the bottom of the ocean we just don't know what's there because they're so deep that we've not been able to go down and have a little look ourselves. It's a bit like that for me. Like, I don't know if physically we have the capabilities for that. You know, I don't know if physically. I don't know if we're there. I don't know if we're there yet as a civilization to quad bell. That feels like it's beyond us. Physically, it feels like it's beyond me. That third one was difficult. So, you know, I don't know. Wilson was looking for it, but again, just running him out. Maybe a quad bell if we get Conference League final. Maybe. I'm not against that. We'll have to see how it goes rest of the season, but I wouldn't be against it in that specific instance. You know? Now, am I starting to feel the acidy stuff at the back of my neck? Yeah, I am. So maybe I should be against it. Actually, ask me again in 2 hours. I'll tell you if physically I'd be against it or not. But right now, yeah, maybe. Newcastle just having a conversation there with Fabian Schär. Gerd can't quite get that one forward, but comes backwards with it. Souček does well as well. I think that's Souček. Yeah, it is. He does well there to stop it from coming forward. Good ball out wide to the left-hand side from Newcastle. Anthony Gordon trying something. He finds a bit of space. Newcastle fans shouting, shoot. They're not used to being good. You don't shoot in those positions. That's an awful position to shoot from. Yet they're there like, shoot. No, bruv, don't do that. I mean, sure, from a West Ham perspective, do that. It's not going in. Do whatever you want, mate. But Burn. Bad passing, and again, good defending just stops them out. A point is huge today. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, and I know like there might be some you could have some conversation about whether or not if we'd pushed it a bit more, we could have got the win and all that stuff. I 100% understand that. But a point here is massive. Away to high-flying Newcastle, who are third in the league, whatever they are, who seem to be unstoppable, basically weren't conceding at all, conceding 2 in the opening 5 minutes for us. A point here is a massive, massive result. And people, you have to remember when you're down at the bottom, any points are massive. Any points at all, because it's so difficult to pick up points. If you're at the bottom, it's really, really difficult to pick up points. And so 1 point is massive. So if we get, he came back the second game, then I can't remember if he came back again. Maybe one more? I don't remember. Flynn Downs coming on now. I'm just, it's one of those situations where like this is a big. It looked like Flynn Downs was about to come on, but I don't know. Dave Moyes was pointing at something very scaredly. I don't know who went down, but Trippier puts it in. Nodded on, Soufal nods it away. Then a big hoof away, I think. Not sure who for. Danny, Fornals charging after it. Must be Danny Ings who cleared it, I think. Fornals just tirelessly chasing that down. Murphy does really well to take it inwards. He's going to win a free kick in an advanced position. We are into stoppage time. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. I think we can hold on to this. Again, picks up a yellow card. That was a celebratory one, you know. The referee just goes, "You've had a good game. Here, have a card." You know what I mean? He's just, it's real, recognised real, you know what I mean? What the heck is going on with my phone? My phone? I don't know if you can see. Can you see? I mean, you can see the light, but apart from that, can you see how, like, bitty it is? There's just stuff all over it. I can... Which way do I do it? Like that? Can you see how much stuff is on there? What the heck? Where'd that come from? Anyway, Soufal's coming off. Soufal played really well today. Another good game from Soufal. Coming into form at a good time. And Flynn Downs is going to come into this place. God knows where the heck that's going to be. Don't know how he's going to play that one. Don't know if we're going to see it happen again, but still, with just under 2 minutes to go, I will now ask you for your man of the match. Make sure to put that in. I will then scroll through the chat and figure out who gets the most votes purely on vibes alone. Science is not your friend here, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever gets the most amount that I see, Hammers chat man of the match. Hammers chat man of the match. Hooked away again. Danny Ings chasing it down. No, Fornals chasing it down. I keep assuming it'd be Danny Ings positionally, but it's always Fornals. Newcastle passing it around. Oh, good interception from Jarrod Bowen. He's not got the pace to get away. He just didn't have the pace to get away. And Newcastle come away with the ball. Going to be a goal kick to West Ham. Again. Yeah, that's what it was. It's the bell. Yeah. Again, Ings again. Agard. Then Soufal. Yeah, fair. Again, Ings, Moyes. Again. Ben Rama. Or wait, no, he's not. No, sorry, he's Algerian. That's again. My brain just forgot all countries, which was bad. Don't even know who Cougar is, but fair enough. Aged is a West Ham legend already. Yes. Aged / Soufal. Aged being rude, saying no too much. That's what happens. You let it go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna close that part. I think it's very clearly Nathan Agard. Noef Aged himself. Aged. It's just so many of them. Congratulations to Naif Aged. For winning the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. You love to see it in an awesome performance. He's so good, man. He is so good. If we could get Zuma back to full fitness, and if Ogbonna continues this form, we've got such a good back three there. Such a good back three. Big ball lobbed into the box from Newcastle. With 20 seconds plus on stoppage time here and now. Declan Rice lays it off to Pablo Fornals, who stays the only one who stayed forward again. Dinking forward, looking for Declan Rice, who just tries to dink it over. He doesn't quite have the technique, but you've got to respect it. Bowen battling for it. And there is the full-time whistle. I'll be honest with you. I will 1000% take that. It feels, I know there could be, I know it might feel a little bit anticlimactic, but I will 1000% take that. Yeah, could we have pushed forward and got a win? Maybe. I don't think so though. I think that is an awesome performance. I think that's a really, really good performance for us. It's confidence building. It's, you know, it's a point which we would have put none on the score sheet, which is a positive for us, a massive positive for us, and some really, really good performances as well. So I'm taking that as a big dub. But thank you all for watching. Massively appreciate it. Remember to stick around because Geo Gonzo will be live in just a second. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Hammer's Chat, hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos because we've got tons of stuff coming up. Lastly, I would like to thank once more Susan, Sat the Pocky Punk, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Stu, the Disabled Team, subscribe if you haven't already. Know my Stevie51 and GP for the money into the full-time fund. It's massively, massively appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mulch. I said thank you earlier. I don't know if you heard it for doing the graphic because it's always a banger. And Jesus Christ, there's less baby bells on that graphic than there were in my belly right now, which is an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Massively appreciate it. Make sure to come back. We'll be back for the next game, whenever that is. Can't remember. Not my brain working today. Enjoy the review. Come on, you Irons, and see you next time. Bye, everyone. Bye.